Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious discoveries in human history, a device so advanced that it challenges everything we thought we knew about ancient technology, the Antikythera mechanism, often called the world's first analog computer, a machine that lay hidden beneath the sea for over 2,000 years before being brought back into the light, sparking endless debates among historians, scientists, and mystery lovers alike. Discovered in 1901 by sponge divers off the coast of a small Greek island, this corroded lump of bronze at first seemed like nothing more than a broken artifact, but as researchers began to examine it more closely, they realized they were looking at something extraordinary, something that did not belong to its time, a complex system of gears, dials, and inscriptions designed to track celestial movements with astonishing precision, a level of engineering sophistication that would not be seen again for more than a millennium. Imagine living in an age without electricity, without modern tools, and yet somehow possessing the knowledge and skill to build a device capable of predicting solar eclipses, lunar cycles, and even the positions of planets. It sounds almost impossible, yet the evidence lies before us, hidden in fragments that continue to reveal their secrets through modern imaging technologies. Scientists have used X-ray tomography and 3D modeling to peer inside the mechanism, uncovering intricate gear trains and inscriptions that read like an ancient user manual, suggesting that this was not just a tool for scholars, but something meant to be used and understood, perhaps even taught, which raises even more questions. Who created it, and why? Was it the work of a single genius, or the product of a lost tradition of engineering knowledge that has since vanished from history? Some researchers believe it may be connected to the works of ancient Greek thinkers like Archimedes, whose inventions were said to be far ahead of their time, while others argue that it represents a broader culture of scientific advancement that has been largely forgotten, buried beneath the rise and fall of empires. What makes the Antikythera mechanism even more intriguing is not just its complexity, but its isolation. No other device quite like it has ever been found from the same period. No clear evolutionary path leading up to it, and no direct descendants that carried its design forward. It appears almost as if it emerged suddenly, fully formed, and then disappeared just as mysteriously, leaving behind only fragments and questions. And this has led to countless theories, some grounded in science, others drifting into speculation, from lost civilizations to ancient knowledge passed down through secret traditions, even whispers of extraterrestrial influence. Though such ideas remain firmly in the realm of imagination, what is undeniable is that the Antikythera mechanism forces us to reconsider the capabilities of ancient societies, to acknowledge that history is not always a straight line of progress, but sometimes a story of knowledge gained and lost, rediscovered and misunderstood. As we continue to study this incredible device, new details emerge, new interpretations take shape, and the mystery deepens rather than fades. Each gear, each inscription, each fragment acts like a piece of a puzzle that we are still trying to solve, and perhaps that is what makes this story so captivating. Not just the machine itself, but the sense of wonder it inspires, the reminder that even in our modern world, there are still secrets waiting to be uncovered, still chapters of human history that remain incomplete. So as we explore the Antikythera mechanism in this series, we're not just looking at an ancient artifact. We're stepping into a mystery that bridges the gap between past and present, science and legend, reality and imagination, and who knows, by the end of this journey, we might come a little closer to understanding not just how this incredible device was made, but what it truly represents in the grand story of human innovation and curiosity. With the machine itself, but with the silent depths of the Mediterranean Sea, where for centuries the remains of an ancient shipwreck lay undisturbed near the small Greek island of Antikythera, a place of rugged cliffs and restless waters that concealed one of history's greatest technological enigmas. It was in the year 1901 that a group of sponge divers, braving dangerous currents and the unknown darkness below, stumbled upon the wreck while seeking shelter from a storm. What they found was not treasure in the usual sense of gold and jewels, but something far more valuable: fragments of statues, pottery, and among them, a corroded lump of bronze that would later change our understanding of ancient science forever. At first glance, this object appeared insignificant, just another relic damaged by time and saltwater, but as it was brought to the surface and examined by archaeologists in Athens, its true nature slowly began to reveal itself. Gears, dozens of them, intricately arranged and unlike anything ever seen from that era. This was not decoration, this was machinery, precise and purposeful, and it posed a question that echoed through the halls of history: how could such a device exist over 2,000 years ago, in a world we often imagine as technologically primitive? The discovery site itself, now known as the Antikythera wreck, dates back to around the 1st century BCE, a time when the Roman Republic was expanding its power across the Mediterranean, and Greek knowledge and culture were being absorbed into a growing empire. The ship is believed to have been carrying luxury goods, artworks, and possibly scientific instruments, suggesting that its passengers or owners were individuals of wealth and intellect, perhaps scholars or collectors who valued knowledge as much as beauty. And among all these treasures, the mechanism stood out as something entirely different, something that did not simply represent art or culture, but advanced understanding. As researchers carefully cleaned and studied the fragments, they noticed inscriptions etched into the bronze surfaces, tiny Greek letters that hinted at instructions or explanations, almost like a manual left behind by its creators. And as the years passed, more pieces were identified, eventually revealing that the device was far more complex than anyone initially believed, consisting of over 30 interlocking gears, all designed to work together in a precise and coordinated way. But what was its purpose? That question became the center of intense study and debate. Early theories ranged from it being a navigational tool to a form of calendar, but as technology advanced in the modern era, especially with the use of X-ray imaging, scientists were able to look inside the mechanism without damaging it, and what they found was astonishing. The gears corresponded to astronomical cycles, tracking the movements of the sun, the moon, and possibly even the planets. It could predict eclipses, model lunar phases, and align with known cycles such as the Metonic cycle, which tracks the relationship between lunar months and solar years. This was not just a tool, it was a representation of the cosmos itself, built in metal, a mechanical universe that could be held in the hands. And this realization transformed the Antikythera mechanism from a curious artifact into a revolutionary discovery, one that forced historians to rethink the capabilities of ancient engineers and scientists. Because until its discovery, nothing of comparable complexity was known to exist until the medieval period, more than 1,000 years later, which raises a profound mystery. If such knowledge existed in ancient Greece, why did it disappear? Why do we not see a continuous development of this technology? Instead, it seems as though the knowledge required to build such a device was lost, buried along with the ship that carried it, and only rediscovered by chance centuries later. Some scholars suggest that the fall of ancient civilizations, combined with the destruction of knowledge centers like the Library of Alexandria, may have played a role in this loss, while others believe that devices like the Antikythera mechanism were rare even in their own time, created by a small group of highly skilled individuals whose knowledge was never widely shared. Whatever the truth may be, the beginning of this story is not just about a machine, but about discovery, curiosity, and the fragile nature of knowledge itself, how easily it can be lost, and how incredibly difficult it can be to recover. As we move deeper into this series, we will explore not only how this mysterious device worked, but also the people behind it, the science that made it possible, and the questions that still remain unanswered. Because the Antikythera mechanism is more than an artifact, it is a message from the past, a reminder that history still holds secrets far beyond what we think we know. Deeper into the heart of the mystery, where the fragmented remains of the Antikythera mechanism begin to transform from a corroded relic into a window through which we can glimpse the brilliance of ancient engineering. As scientists and historians continued their investigation, the use of advanced imaging techniques such as X-ray tomography allowed them to virtually peel back the layers of corrosion without physically damaging the fragile pieces, revealing an intricate internal structure that seemed almost impossibly sophisticated for its time. Gear upon gear, each carefully cut and positioned with mathematical precision, working together in a complex system that mirrored the movements of the heavens, and it became increasingly clear that this device was not merely decorative or symbolic, but functional, designed with a specific and highly advanced purpose in mind. The inscriptions found on the mechanism, written in ancient Greek, provided crucial clues, acting almost like a guidebook that explained its operation. These texts referenced astronomical cycles and events, pointing researchers toward the realization that the mechanism was essentially an ancient calculator, capable of predicting celestial phenomena with remarkable accuracy. Among its most fascinating features was its ability to track the cycles of the moon, including the irregularities in its orbit, something that requires a deep understanding of what we now call the lunar anomaly, a concept that would not be formally described again until many centuries later. This alone suggests that the creators of the mechanism possessed knowledge that was far ahead of their time, and it raises an even bigger question: how did they acquire such knowledge in the first place? Some scholars point to the rich tradition of Greek astronomy and mathematics, built upon the works of earlier civilizations such as the Babylonians, who meticulously recorded celestial events over long periods, creating a foundation of data that Greek thinkers could analyze and refine. Figures like Hipparchus are often associated with the level of precision seen in the mechanism, as he is known to have developed detailed models of the moon's motion and may have influenced its design. Though no direct evidence links him to the device, the possibility remains tantalizing, adding another layer to the mystery. As researchers reconstructed the mechanism's layout, they discovered that it likely had multiple dials on its front and back faces, each serving a different function. The front dial is believed to have displayed the positions of the sun and moon in the zodiac, while the back dials tracked longer cycles, including the Metonic cycle and the Saros cycle, which is used to predict eclipses. By turning a crank, the user could set a specific date and observe how the celestial bodies would align, effectively allowing them to look into the future or the past, a feature that must have seemed almost magical at the time, yet was grounded entirely in scientific observation and mechanical ingenuity. The craftsmanship of the gears themselves is another astonishing aspect. Each tooth was cut with a level of precision that suggests the use of specialized tools and techniques, possibly even early forms of gear-cutting machinery, which challenges the assumption that such technology did not exist in the ancient world. It also implies the presence of skilled artisans who were not only capable of executing complex designs but also understood the underlying principles that made them work. This combination of theoretical knowledge and practical skill is what makes the Antikythera mechanism so unique. It is not just a product of abstract thought, but a tangible manifestation of it, a bridge between idea and reality. And yet, despite all that has been uncovered, there are still missing pieces, quite literally, as only about 1/3 of the original device has been recovered, leaving significant gaps in our understanding. Some parts may still lie hidden beneath the sea near the Antikythera wreck, waiting to be discovered, while others may have been lost forever, adding to the sense of incompleteness that surrounds this artifact. This uncertainty fuels ongoing research and exploration, with modern expeditions returning to the wreck site in hopes of finding additional fragments, using advanced diving equipment and robotic technology to search areas that were previously inaccessible. Each new discovery, no matter how small, has the potential to reshape our understanding of the mechanism and the world that created it. As we continue this journey, one thing becomes increasingly clear: the Antikythera mechanism is not an isolated anomaly, but a testament to a level of scientific achievement that we are only beginning to fully appreciate. It challenges us to rethink the narrative of technological progress, to consider the possibility that ancient civilizations may have reached heights of knowledge that were later lost, only to be rediscovered centuries later, and in doing so, it invites us to look at history not as a simple timeline, but as a complex and often fragmented story, where brilliance can emerge, disappear, and leave behind only echoes for future generations to uncover. Shifts our focus from discovery and structure to the minds behind the Antikythera mechanism, exploring the intellectual world that made such an extraordinary device possible, a world centered in ancient Greece where philosophy, mathematics, and astronomy were not separate disciplines but deeply interconnected ways of understanding the universe. During this period, knowledge was not merely observed but actively pursued through reasoning and calculation, and it is within this environment that the foundations of the mechanism were likely formed. One of the most compelling connections is to the island of Rhodes, a renowned center of learning and innovation during the Hellenistic period, where scholars studied the stars and developed sophisticated models to explain their movements. It is believed that schools in Rhodes may have played a crucial role in advancing the kind of astronomical knowledge required to design a device like this, and among the figures often associated with this intellectual tradition is Hipparchus, whose work on lunar and solar motion laid the groundwork for predictive astronomy. His theories about the irregular motion of the moon, including variations in speed and position, align remarkably well with the gear systems found inside the mechanism, suggesting that whoever built it had access to, or was directly influenced by, his ideas. Another towering figure often mentioned in discussions is Archimedes, a genius whose inventions and mechanical insights were legendary even in his own time. Ancient writings describe devices created by Archimedes that could model celestial movements, raising the possibility that the Antikythera mechanism may have been inspired by or descended from such earlier creations. Although no direct evidence links him to this specific device, the parallels are difficult to ignore, especially when considering the level of mechanical sophistication involved. This brings us to an important realization: the mechanism was not an isolated creation but likely the product of a broader tradition of scientific craftsmanship, a collaboration between thinkers who understood the mathematics of the cosmos and artisans who could translate those ideas into physical form. This kind of collaboration implies the existence of workshops or centers where such knowledge was shared and developed, places where theory and practice came together to push the boundaries of what was possible. Yet despite this, the Antikythera mechanism remains unique, with no other surviving examples to confirm the existence of a widespread industry of similar devices, which raises an intriguing question: was this a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, or simply the only survivor of a once thriving tradition? As we consider this, we must also look at the cultural context of the time. The Hellenistic world was one of exploration and exchange, where ideas traveled across regions and were influenced by earlier civilizations such as the Babylonians and Egyptians, whose astronomical records and observations provided a foundation for Greek scholars to build upon. The mechanism itself reflects this blending of knowledge, combining observational data with mathematical modeling and mechanical engineering. It represents not just Greek innovation, but a culmination of centuries of accumulated understanding. And yet, despite all of this, something happened. The continuity of this knowledge was broken, whether due to political upheaval, economic decline, or the gradual loss of specialized skills. The ability to create such devices seems to have faded from history, leaving behind only fragments like the Antikythera mechanism as evidence of what once was. This loss is perhaps one of the most fascinating aspects of the story, because it challenges our assumptions about progress, reminding us that knowledge is not always preserved, that even the most advanced ideas can be forgotten if they are not passed down and maintained. It also adds a sense of mystery and urgency to modern research, as scientists and historians work to piece together what has been lost, using every available tool to reconstruct not just the mechanism itself, but the world that created it. In recent years, experimental archaeologists have attempted to build working replicas based on the surviving fragments and inscriptions, and these reconstructions have demonstrated that the mechanism was not only theoretically sound but practically functional, capable of performing the tasks it was designed for with impressive accuracy. These efforts bring us closer to understanding how the device was used, who might have used it, and what role it played in ancient society. Was it a teaching tool, a scientific instrument, or perhaps even a symbol of intellectual power? As we continue this journey, the Antikythera mechanism becomes more than just an object. It becomes a story of human curiosity and ingenuity, a testament to what can be achieved when knowledge, creativity, and skill come together, and a reminder that even in the distant past, there were minds capable of seeing the universe not just as a mystery, but as something that could be understood, calculated, and even predicted through the language of mathematics and the precision of machinery. Brings us closer to understanding how the Antikythera mechanism actually functioned in practice, moving beyond theory and into the mechanical brilliance that allowed this ancient device to simulate the cosmos with astonishing accuracy. At its core, the mechanism operated through a carefully designed system of interlocking bronze gears, each one precisely cut with teeth that meshed together to transfer motion from one part of the device to another. When a user turned a small hand crank on the side, this motion would travel through the gear trains, setting off a chain reaction that moved various dials and indicators on the front and back panels, essentially transforming a simple manual input into a complex representation of time and celestial movement. The front face of the mechanism is believed to have displayed a circular dial marked with the zodiac and the Egyptian calendar, allowing the user to track the position of the sun and moon as they moved across the sky. A small sphere may have even represented the moon itself, changing color or phase to reflect its current state, an incredibly sophisticated feature that required not only mechanical skill but also a deep understanding of lunar cycles. On the back of the device, things became even more intricate, with spiral dials that tracked long-term astronomical cycles, including the Metonic cycle, which spans 19 years and aligns lunar months with solar years, and the Saros cycle, which predicts eclipses over a period of approximately 18 years. These cycles were not simple patterns but required careful calculation and synchronization, and the mechanism achieved this through gear ratios that translated rotational motion into precise timekeeping. One of the most remarkable aspects of this system is how it accounted for irregularities in celestial motion, particularly the uneven speed of the moon as it orbits the Earth. This was accomplished using a clever arrangement of gears that mimicked what we now describe as the epicyclic gearing, a technique that allows for variable motion within a rotating system, effectively capturing the subtle variations that would otherwise be impossible to represent with simple circular movement. This level of sophistication suggests that the creators were not just copying observed patterns but actively modeling the underlying mechanics of the universe, turning abstract mathematical concepts into a physical, working machine. And this is where the Antikythera mechanism truly stands apart from other ancient artifacts. It is not merely a tool for measurement, but a device for simulation, a way of recreating the behavior of celestial bodies in miniature, allowing its user to explore the past and future positions of the sun, moon, and possibly even planets with a level of precision that would not be matched for centuries. The craftsmanship required to build such a device is equally impressive. Each gear had to be cut with incredible accuracy to ensure that the entire system functioned smoothly. Even a small error could disrupt the delicate balance of motion, suggesting that the artisans who constructed it possessed advanced techniques and tools, perhaps even specialized workshops dedicated to such work. The materials themselves, primarily bronze, had to be carefully shaped and assembled, with pins and axles holding the gears in place within a compact wooden casing, making the entire mechanism portable and protected. This portability raises interesting questions about its use. Was it carried by scholars as a teaching instrument, used to demonstrate the principles of astronomy to students or patrons, or was it a personal device owned by a wealthy individual, a symbol of knowledge and intellectual curiosity, perhaps even used for practical purposes such as determining important dates for agriculture, navigation, or religious festivals? As researchers continue to study the surviving fragments, they have been able to reconstruct not only the physical structure of the mechanism but also its user interface, revealing a level of design that suggests careful consideration of how it would be operated and understood. Inscriptions provided instructions, dials were labeled, and the layout was organized in a way that made the complex system accessible to its user. This combination of functionality and usability is another indication of its advanced nature, showing that it was not just an experimental device but a finished product intended for real-world use. Yet despite all this progress in understanding, there are still gaps in the puzzle, missing gears, incomplete inscriptions, and unanswered questions that continue to challenge researchers. Some believe that additional features may have been present, possibly including indicators for planetary motion or other astronomical phenomena, but without the missing pieces, these ideas remain speculative, adding to the sense of mystery that surrounds the mechanism. As we delve deeper into its operation, we begin to see it not just as a machine, but as a reflection of a worldview, one in which the universe was seen as an orderly system governed by predictable patterns, a cosmos that could be understood, calculated, and even replicated through human ingenuity. And in this sense, the Antikythera mechanism is more than an ancient invention. It is a testament to the power of human thought, a reminder that even in a time long before modern technology, there were those who sought to understand the universe in ways that continue to inspire and astonish us today. Takes us into the broader impact and hidden significance of the Antikythera mechanism, exploring not just what it did, but why such a device might have been created in the first place, because understanding its purpose reveals as much about ancient society as the machine itself. In a world where the movement of the heavens was deeply connected to daily life, religion, and power, the ability to predict celestial events was not merely a scientific achievement, it was a form of knowledge that carried immense cultural and practical importance. Eclipses, for example, were often seen as omens, signs from the gods that could influence decisions ranging from warfare to governance, and a device capable of predicting such events would have been invaluable, not only to astronomers but also to political and religious leaders who sought to interpret or even control the narrative surrounding these phenomena. In this sense, the Antikythera mechanism may have functioned as both a scientific instrument and a tool of influence, allowing its owner to anticipate events that others could not, creating an aura of wisdom or even divine connection. This idea aligns with the traditions of ancient Greece, where astronomy and philosophy were closely tied to the understanding of the cosmos as an ordered and meaningful system. The mechanism's ability to track cycles such as the Saros cycle suggests that it was specifically designed with prediction in mind, not just observation, and this predictive power would have been incredibly valuable in a society that relied on calendars to organize agricultural activities, religious festivals, and civic life. Knowing when a solar or lunar eclipse would occur could help prevent panic or be used to reinforce authority. Depending on how the information was presented, beyond its practical uses, the mechanism also reflects a philosophical worldview, one that saw the universe as something that could be understood through patterns and logic, an idea central to Greek thought, where thinkers sought to uncover the underlying principles that governed reality. By creating a device that could model the movements of the heavens, the builders of the Antikythera mechanism were essentially demonstrating that the cosmos itself operated like a machine, governed by rules that could be studied, calculated, and even replicated. This concept would later influence the development of science in profound ways, forming the foundation for future discoveries in astronomy and physics. Yet what makes this story even more compelling is the mystery of its disappearance. Despite its advanced design and apparent usefulness, there is no clear evidence that devices like the Antikythera mechanism continued to be produced or widely used. Instead, it seems to have been an isolated achievement, a peak of knowledge that was not sustained. This raises important questions about the fragility of knowledge and the factors that contribute to its preservation or loss. Historical events such as wars, economic decline, and the destruction of centers of learning may have played a role, as knowledge was often concentrated in specific places and among small groups of individuals. If those places were destroyed or those individuals lost, the knowledge could vanish with them. Some scholars have pointed to events like the decline of the Hellenistic world and the eventual dominance of the Roman Empire as possible turning points, where priorities shifted and certain forms of knowledge were no longer pursued or valued in the same way. Others suggest that the complexity of the mechanism itself may have limited its spread, requiring a level of expertise and resources that were not easily accessible, making it more of a rare and specialized creation than a common tool. Whatever the reason, the result is the same: a gap in the historical record that leaves us with more questions than answers, and this gap is part of what makes the Antikythera mechanism so fascinating. It is not just a relic of the past, but a puzzle that challenges our understanding of history, forcing us to reconsider what ancient civilizations were capable of and how much of their knowledge may have been lost. As modern researchers continue to study the mechanism and its context, they are not only uncovering details about its construction and use, but also gaining insights into the society that created it, a society that valued knowledge, observation, and the pursuit of understanding, even if that pursuit did not always leave a lasting legacy. In this way, the Antikythera mechanism becomes more than just an ancient machine. It becomes a symbol of human curiosity and the enduring quest to make sense of the universe, a reminder that even in the distant past, there were those who looked to the stars and sought not just to admire them, but to understand their patterns, predict their movements, and capture their essence in a form that could be studied, shared, and preserved, even if only in fragments that would one day be rediscovered and admired by a world far beyond their imagination. Takes us into the modern era, where the Antikythera mechanism, once a silent and corroded relic, has become the center of cutting-edge scientific investigation, bridging ancient ingenuity with 21st-century technology. As researchers from around the world collaborate to unlock its remaining secrets, one of the most significant breakthroughs came with the application of advanced imaging techniques, particularly high-resolution X-ray computed tomography, which allowed scientists to see inside the fragments in extraordinary detail without causing any damage. This effort was led in part by the Antikythera Mechanism Research Project, a team of physicists, astronomers, historians, and engineers who brought together expertise from multiple disciplines to reconstruct the device both physically and conceptually. Through their work, previously invisible inscriptions were revealed, consisting of thousands of Greek characters that provided detailed information about the mechanism's functions. These texts described cycles, instructions, and even the purpose of certain dials, effectively acting as a user manual from antiquity, giving us direct insight into how the device was meant to be operated. And as more of these inscriptions were decoded, it became clear that the mechanism was even more sophisticated than earlier studies had suggested, not only tracking the sun and moon but potentially including indicators for the 5 known planets of the ancient world: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, each with its own complex motion that would have required additional gears and intricate calculations. This discovery pushed the boundaries of what researchers believed possible for ancient engineering, suggesting that the mechanism may have been a comprehensive model of the known cosmos, a portable planetarium that could demonstrate the movements of celestial bodies with remarkable accuracy. Modern reconstructions, both digital and physical, have played a crucial role in bringing this ancient machine back to life. Scientists and engineers have built working replicas based on the surviving fragments and newly uncovered data, testing different theories about its design and function. These reconstructions have shown that the mechanism's gear system was not only theoretically sound but also practical, capable of operating smoothly and producing accurate results when built correctly. One particularly fascinating aspect of these studies is how they have revealed the use of differential gearing, a concept often associated with much later technological developments, which allowed the mechanism to model the varying speeds of celestial bodies in a way that closely matched observed reality. This level of sophistication continues to challenge assumptions about the technological capabilities of ancient civilizations, reinforcing the idea that the Antikythera mechanism was not an isolated curiosity but part of a deeper, more advanced tradition of scientific thought. Ongoing explorations of the original wreck site near Antikythera have also contributed to our understanding, with new expeditions uncovering additional artifacts and fragments that may be connected to the mechanism or its context. Using modern diving equipment, autonomous underwater vehicles, and detailed mapping techniques, researchers are revisiting areas that were previously inaccessible, hoping to find missing pieces that could complete the puzzle. Each new discovery adds another layer of detail, helping to refine our understanding of how the mechanism was constructed and used. And yet, despite all this progress, there are still unanswered questions that continue to fuel debate and speculation. For example, the exact origin of the mechanism remains uncertain, while evidence points toward the Greek world, possibly linked to centers of learning such as Rhodes. There is no definitive proof of where it was built or who exactly was responsible. Similarly, the full extent of its capabilities is still being explored, with some researchers suggesting that it may have included features that are not yet fully understood or preserved in the surviving fragments. This ongoing mystery is part of what makes the Antikythera mechanism so captivating. It is not a solved puzzle but a living investigation, one that continues to evolve as new technologies and ideas are applied to its study. Perhaps most importantly, the modern research surrounding the mechanism has had a broader impact on how we view history and technological progress. It has challenged the traditional narrative that sees ancient civilizations as relatively simple or limited in their capabilities. Instead, it highlights the possibility that advanced knowledge and innovation existed in forms that were later lost or overlooked, encouraging a more nuanced and open-minded approach to the study of the past. As we continue this series, the Antikythera mechanism stands not only as a testament to ancient brilliance but also as a symbol of the enduring human quest for knowledge, connecting us across time to those who once looked at the same sky and sought to understand its patterns, reminding us that curiosity and ingenuity are not modern inventions, but timeless aspects of the human experience that continue to drive discovery and inspire wonder even today. Brings us to one of the most intriguing and debated aspects of the Antikythera mechanism: the theories, controversies, and unanswered questions that continue to surround it, because even after decades of research, this ancient device refuses to give up all its secrets, and in many ways, the more we learn about it, the more mysterious it becomes. One of the central debates revolves around whether the mechanism we have today represents the full design or merely a simplified version of something even more complex. Since only about a third of the original device has survived, recovered from the depths near the Antikythera, it is entirely possible that key components are missing, components that could reveal additional functions such as planetary tracking or even more advanced predictive systems. Some researchers argue that the existing evidence already points toward a level of sophistication that rivals early modern astronomical clocks, while others believe we may be underestimating just how advanced the original device truly was. Another major area of discussion centers on its purpose and audience. Was the Antikythera mechanism designed for practical use by navigators and astronomers, or was it more of an educational tool, used to demonstrate the workings of the cosmos to students or elites? The presence of detailed inscriptions suggests that it was meant to be understood and operated by someone with at least a basic level of knowledge, but the complexity of its internal systems implies that only a highly trained individual could fully grasp its capabilities. This dual nature makes it difficult to classify, blurring the line between instrument and teaching device. Adding to the mystery is the question of how widespread this technology was. If such a device could be built in the ancient world, why have we not found more examples? Some historians suggest that the Antikythera mechanism may have been a rare luxury item, commissioned by wealthy patrons or created in limited numbers by specialized workshops, which would explain its uniqueness. Others propose that similar devices may have existed but were lost over time due to the fragility of their materials or the destruction of historical sites, particularly during periods of conflict and transition. Events like the decline of the Hellenistic world and the rise of the Roman Empire could have disrupted the transmission of knowledge, leading to the disappearance of such advanced technologies. There are also more speculative theories that attempt to explain the mechanism's sophistication, ranging from the idea of a lost civilization with advanced scientific knowledge to the influence of unknown or undocumented sources of learning. While these theories often capture the imagination, most scholars emphasize that the mechanism can be understood within the context of known ancient Greek science, albeit at its highest level. Still, the fact that it appears so suddenly in the historical record, without clear predecessors, continues to challenge researchers and inspire new lines of inquiry. Modern technology has played a crucial role in addressing some of these questions, but it has also introduced new complexities. As more detailed scans reveal previously hidden features, interpretations must be constantly revised, leading to ongoing debates within the scientific community. Even the arrangement of the gears and the exact functions of certain components are still being refined, with different models proposing slightly different configurations. This dynamic process of discovery is part of what makes the study of the Antikythera mechanism so exciting. It is not a closed chapter but an evolving story, one that invites participation and reinterpretation. Beyond the technical and historical debates, there is also a deeper philosophical dimension to consider. The mechanism challenges our perception of time and progress, reminding us that human knowledge does not always advance in a straight line, but can rise to incredible heights and then fade, only to be rediscovered centuries later. It forces us to ask what other knowledge may have been lost, what other innovations might have existed in the past but left no trace, and how much of our current understanding is shaped by what has survived rather than what once was. As researchers continue to explore these questions, the Antikythera mechanism stands as both a breakthrough and a mystery, a symbol of human ingenuity and a reminder of the limits of our knowledge. It connects us to a distant past that is at once familiar and alien, showing us that even in ancient times, there were those who sought to understand the universe in ways that still resonate with us today. And as we move forward in this series, we will continue to unravel these layers of mystery, examining not just the answers we have found, but the questions that remain. Because in the case of the Antikythera mechanism, the mystery is not a problem to be solved once and for all, but a journey of discovery that continues to unfold with each new insight and every new piece of evidence uncovered from the depths of history. Takes us beyond the mechanism itself and into its lasting legacy, exploring how the Antikythera mechanism has influenced modern science, technology, and our understanding of history. Because what began as a corroded artifact recovered from the sea near Antikythera has now become one of the most important pieces of evidence for the advanced capabilities of the ancient world, reshaping the way historians and scientists think about technological development. For many years, the prevailing belief was that complex mechanical devices emerged gradually during the medieval period, eventually leading to the creation of clocks and other precision instruments. But the discovery and ongoing study of the Antikythera mechanism has forced a complete re-evaluation of that narrative, showing that sophisticated gear systems and mechanical modeling existed far earlier than previously thought. In fact, some of the principles observed in the mechanism, such as the use of precise gear ratios and coordinated motion, are directly related to concepts used in later mechanical engineering, drawing a surprising connection between ancient craftsmanship and modern technology. This has led to a growing appreciation for the continuity of human innovation, even if that continuity is not always clearly documented. The influence of the mechanism can also be seen in the way it has inspired contemporary researchers and engineers. Modern reconstructions, created by teams such as the Antikythera Mechanism Research Project, have demonstrated not only how the device worked but also how its underlying ideas can still be applied today. These reconstructions have become valuable educational tools, helping students and enthusiasts visualize complex astronomical cycles and understand the relationship between mathematics and physical systems. In this sense, the mechanism continues to fulfill a role similar to what it may have served in ancient times, bridging the gap between abstract knowledge and tangible experience. Its impact extends even further into popular culture, where it has captured the imagination of writers, filmmakers, and creators who see in it a symbol of lost knowledge and hidden potential. The idea that ancient civilizations may have possessed technologies far more advanced than we once believed has become a powerful narrative, inspiring stories that blend history with mystery and speculation. Although many of these interpretations go beyond what the evidence supports, they highlight the emotional and intellectual resonance of the mechanism, its ability to make us question our assumptions and explore new possibilities. At the same time, the Antikythera mechanism has played a crucial role in advancing interdisciplinary research, bringing together experts from fields as diverse as archaeology, physics, astronomy, engineering, and computer science. This collaborative approach has not only deepened our understanding of the mechanism itself but also set a precedent for how complex historical artifacts can be studied in the future. By combining traditional scholarship with cutting-edge technology, researchers have been able to unlock details that would have been impossible to access just a few decades ago. and this process continues to evolve as new tools and methods are developed. Yet perhaps the most profound aspect of the mechanism's legacy lies in what it teaches us about the nature of knowledge. It reminds us that innovation is not confined to any single era, that the desire to understand the universe is a constant thread throughout human history, and that even the most advanced ideas can be lost if they are not preserved and passed on. This realization has important implications for how we approach the study of the past, encouraging us to remain open to new discoveries and to question established narratives. Because the story of the Antikythera mechanism is not just about what we have found, but about what we may still be missing. As ongoing explorations continue at the site of the Antikythera wreck and as researchers refine their models and interpretations, the mechanism remains a dynamic and evolving subject of study. Each new insight adds depth to our understanding while also revealing new questions, ensuring that the mystery is never fully resolved. As we approach the later parts of this series, the Antikythera mechanism stands as both a conclusion and a beginning, a conclusion to the idea that ancient technology was simple and limited, and a beginning of a new perspective that recognizes the complexity and sophistication of early scientific thought. It challenges us to look at history with fresh eyes, to appreciate the achievements of those who came before us, and to acknowledge that the path of progress is not always straightforward, but filled with unexpected turns, lost chapters, and rediscovered wonders that continue to inspire curiosity and awe even in the modern world. Brings us to a reflective turning point in the journey of the Antikythera mechanism, where the mystery is no longer just about gears and astronomy, but about what this extraordinary device reveals about humanity itself. Because when we look closely at this ancient machine recovered from the waters near Antikythera, we are not just seeing an artifact. We are witnessing the ambition of a civilization that refused to accept the universe as unknowable, instead choosing to study it, model it, and ultimately recreate it in a form that could be understood and manipulated. And this ambition is what truly sets the Antikythera mechanism apart. It represents a mindset, a way of thinking that values curiosity, precision, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge, something that connects us directly to those ancient minds across more than 2,000 years of history. One of the most fascinating aspects of this device is how it embodies the idea that the universe operates according to patterns. That the movements of celestial bodies are not random but follow predictable cycles, and this belief was not just scientific, it was philosophical, deeply rooted in the intellectual traditions of ancient Greece, where thinkers sought to uncover the underlying order of the cosmos. The mechanism itself becomes a physical expression of this belief, a miniature universe driven by gears instead of gravity, yet producing results that mirror the real sky with astonishing accuracy, and in doing so, it blurs the line between observation and creation, between understanding the world and replicating it. This raises profound questions about the nature of knowledge, how it is developed, preserved, and sometimes lost, because as advanced as the Antikythera mechanism was, it did not lead to an unbroken chain of technological progress. Instead, it seems to have been part of a peak that was later followed by decline, a reminder that human advancement is not always linear, but can rise and fall depending on circumstances. This idea challenges the common assumption that history is a steady march forward, showing instead that brilliance can emerge in unexpected places and times, only to disappear and leave behind fragments for future generations to rediscover. The mechanism also invites us to consider the role of individuals and communities in shaping knowledge. Was this the work of a single genius, or the result of a collaborative effort within a culture that valued learning and innovation? The answer may never be fully known, but what is clear is that such a device could not have been created in isolation. It required a foundation of mathematical theory, astronomical observation, and mechanical skill, all coming together in a way that reflects a highly developed intellectual environment, possibly connected to centers of learning such as Rhodes, where ideas were exchanged and refined. Yet even in such an environment, the survival of knowledge was never guaranteed. As history has shown time and again, libraries can be destroyed, traditions can be interrupted, and skills can be forgotten, leaving behind only traces of what once existed. And this is what makes the Antikythera mechanism so powerful as a symbol. It is both a triumph and a loss, a demonstration of what humans are capable of achieving and a reminder of how fragile those achievements can be. In the modern world, where information is stored digitally and shared instantly across the globe, it is easy to assume that knowledge is secure, but the story of the Antikythera mechanism suggests otherwise. It warns us that preservation requires effort, that understanding must be continually renewed, and that even the most advanced ideas can fade if they are not maintained and passed on. As researchers continue to study this remarkable device, they are not just uncovering details about its construction and use, but also engaging in a broader exploration of history itself, questioning assumptions, re-examining evidence, and opening new pathways of inquiry. And in this process, the Antikythera mechanism becomes more than an object of study. It becomes a source of inspiration, encouraging us to look beyond what we think we know and to remain open to the possibility that there are still discoveries waiting to be made, still stories waiting to be told, and still mysteries that challenge our understanding of the past and our place within it. As we move toward the final part of this series, the journey of the Antikythera mechanism reminds us that history is not just about what has been recorded, but about what has been lost, rediscovered, and reimagined, a continuous dialogue between past and present that shapes the way we see the world and ourselves within it. Concludes our journey through the enigmatic world of the Antikythera mechanism, bringing together discovery, function, history, and legacy to reflect on why this ancient device continues to captivate scientists, historians, and the public alike. As we return to the original fragments recovered from the sea near Antikythera, it is astonishing to consider that what appeared at first to be a corroded lump of bronze over a century ago has become a symbol of human ingenuity, a testament to the capacity of ancient civilizations to conceive and construct machines of extraordinary sophistication. The mechanism's survival, even in fragments, allows us to witness a form of technological artistry that bridges millennia, illustrating that curiosity and intellectual ambition are timeless traits of humanity. What makes the Antikythera mechanism so remarkable is the way it unites multiple domains of knowledge, mathematics, astronomy, engineering, and philosophy, into a single, functioning system. By carefully observing the heavens, ancient scholars developed models of celestial motion, translating these models into mechanical form through interlocking gears, dials, and inscriptions, creating a device capable of predicting eclipses, modeling lunar phases, and tracking solar and lunar cycles with extraordinary accuracy. In essence, it transformed the abstract and intangible cosmos into something tangible, something that could be manipulated and studied. This achievement demonstrates not only technical skill but also a sophisticated understanding of the universe, suggesting that ancient Greek thinkers, possibly influenced by figures such as Hipparchus or inspired by the inventive traditions of Archimedes, were capable of integrating observation, theory, and craftsmanship in ways that rival the accomplishments of much later periods. As the study of the mechanism has progressed, modern technology has allowed researchers to reconstruct its operation in remarkable detail, using X-ray tomography, 3D modeling, and mechanical replicas. These reconstructions reveal how turning a small hand crank would animate the entire system, moving gears and pointers to reflect the positions of the sun, moon, and possibly planets, as well as the timing of eclipses. The device's back dials represent long-term cycles such as the Metonic and Saros cycles, demonstrating an understanding of astronomical periods that requires both mathematical precision and careful calibration. Yet despite all we know, many questions remain, including the exact origin of the mechanism, the full extent of its functions, and whether similar devices existed elsewhere, only to be lost to time. The survival of the Antikythera mechanism reminds us that history is often incomplete, that brilliance can emerge, achieve remarkable heights, and then disappear, leaving only fragments to testify to what once existed. This element of mystery is part of what makes the mechanism so compelling. It invites exploration, speculation, and imagination, encouraging us to think not only about what the ancients knew but also about what might have been lost, perhaps forever. Beyond its historical and technical significance, the mechanism serves as a philosophical and cultural touchstone, illustrating how humans across ages have sought to understand the universe, to measure, predict, and find patterns in the chaos of the natural world. It embodies the desire to comprehend and master knowledge, to transform abstract principles into tools that enhance understanding, and to share that understanding with others, whether for practical, educational, or even symbolic purposes. In modern times, the Antikythera mechanism continues to inspire a wide audience, influencing researchers across disciplines, from engineers to historians, from astronomers to educators. It has become a symbol of what human ingenuity can achieve, a reminder that the pursuit of knowledge transcends time, connecting us with minds from a distant past who looked at the same sky and asked similar questions. As we reflect on the entirety of the series, the Antikythera mechanism emerges as more than an ancient device. It is a bridge between past and present, a testament to human curiosity, a challenge to conventional assumptions about technological history, and a beacon for future discovery. It tells a story of brilliance, loss, and rediscovery, reminding us that the universe has always been there to observe, measure, and understand, and that the human spirit has always risen to meet that challenge. In the end, the Antikythera mechanism is both a relic and a revelation, a machine frozen in time that continues to move our understanding forward, inviting us to marvel at the ingenuity of our ancestors, to question the limits of human knowledge, and to embrace the mysteries that remain, because even after more than 2 millennia, it reminds us that there is always more to learn, more to explore, and more to uncover. In the endless pursuit of understanding the cosmos and our place within it, a pursuit that connects every generation to the timeless desire to reach beyond the known and illuminate the unknown, delves into the cultural and educational impact of the Antikythera mechanism, exploring how it shaped not only our understanding of ancient technology but also the way we perceive learning, knowledge, and innovation across time. The mechanism, recovered from the seabed near Antikythera, serves as a vivid reminder that education in the ancient world was deeply intertwined with observation, calculation, and hands-on experience. Its existence suggests that learning was not purely theoretical but also practical, a fusion of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering designed to model the real world. Scholars who used or studied the mechanism would have had to grasp complex cycles such as the Metonic, Saros, and Calypic cycles, translating abstract numerical data into mechanical motion. This required both intellectual skill and technical dexterity, demonstrating that education in the Hellenistic period extended beyond memorization or philosophical debate and encompassed experimentation, mechanical construction, and predictive reasoning. In this sense, the mechanism is more than an artifact. It is a teaching tool, a window into the methods and priorities of ancient scholars, and the inscriptions etched onto its gears and plates further reinforce this, as they provided instructions, explanations, and references, effectively serving as an ancient user manual that conveyed knowledge across generations. Modern researchers have noted that the careful labeling and explanatory text suggest the creators were deeply concerned with ensuring comprehension and usability, indicating that the device may have been used in formal or informal educational settings, perhaps within centers of learning such as Rhodes, where students and teachers engaged with the mechanics of the cosmos in a hands-on, interactive way. The mechanism's design also implies an awareness of accessibility, as the visual display of celestial cycles and phases would have made abstract concepts tangible, allowing learners to see the effects of astronomical calculations directly reflected in moving gears and dials. This combination of visual, tactile, and intellectual engagement embodies educational principles that remain relevant today, showing that effective teaching often bridges theory and practice, observation and manipulation, learning and doing. Beyond its pedagogical role, the Antikythera mechanism highlights the broader cultural reverence for knowledge in the ancient world. Civilizations of that era valued intellectual achievement and technological innovation, recognizing that understanding the cosmos was not only a pursuit of curiosity but also a means of asserting influence, whether in navigation, agriculture, religious observance, or social prestige. Owning or mastering such a device would have conferred status, signaling both scholarly competence and practical wisdom. And this intertwining of culture and technology underscores a recurring theme in human history: that knowledge is both a tool and a symbol, something to be used for practical purposes and celebrated as a marker of civilization. The modern rediscovery of the mechanism has amplified its educational impact, inspiring new generations to study STEM fields while also encouraging interdisciplinary approaches that integrate history, engineering, physics, and computer modeling. Students today can learn not only about ancient astronomy but also about the process of reconstruction, simulation, and experimental archaeology, experiencing firsthand the challenges of interpreting fragmentary evidence and translating theory into practice. Furthermore, the Antikythera mechanism invites reflection on the fragility of knowledge, reminding us that even the most sophisticated inventions and advanced concepts can be lost if they are not preserved and shared. This insight has implications for contemporary education, emphasizing the importance of documentation, collaboration, and the dissemination of ideas to ensure that learning continues across generations. It also encourages humility, as it challenges the notion that technological progress is strictly linear, revealing that brilliance can emerge, be lost, and then be rediscovered centuries later. The mechanism's influence extends into public imagination as well, where it serves as a powerful example of the unexpected sophistication of ancient civilizations, captivating audiences in museums, documentaries, and publications, engaging people of all ages in the wonders of science and history, and inspiring curiosity about how humans in the distant past solved problems and understood the world. In a broader sense, the Antikythera mechanism embodies the essence of education itself, the pursuit of understanding, the translation of abstract knowledge into tangible insight, and the transmission of that understanding to others. Its gears and dials are more than mechanical components, they are symbols of inquiry, creativity, and the human desire to make sense of the universe. As this series continues to explore the mechanism's intricacies, its historical context, and its modern relevance, one overarching lesson emerges: that learning is a continuum, spanning cultures and centuries, that every generation builds upon the insights of the past, and that the tools we create to understand the world, whether bronze gears or digital simulations, are extensions of our enduring curiosity. Ultimately, the Antikythera mechanism stands as a bridge between ancient education and modern discovery, a tangible reminder that knowledge is not static, but a living legacy, passed down, interpreted, and reimagined, inspiring both admiration for what has been achieved and excitement for what remains to be uncovered. A timeless testament to humanity's relentless pursuit of understanding and our desire to grasp the cosmos in all its complexity. Takes us into the enduring enigma and philosophical resonance of the Antikythera mechanism, reflecting on how a corroded assembly of bronze gears, recovered from the depths near Antikythera, continues to shape our understanding of human ingenuity, historical progress, and the very nature of knowledge itself. This device, often called the world's first analog computer, exemplifies the capacity of ancient civilizations to observe, calculate, and represent the universe with precision that rivals early modern instruments. Its ability to model the movements of the sun, moon, and possibly planets, predict eclipses through cycles such as the Saros, and encode complex mathematical relationships in interlocking gears, demonstrates not merely technical skill but a profound comprehension of celestial mechanics, a comprehension that emerged long before the advent of mechanized clocks or formalized scientific instrumentation, as modern researchers have reconstructed its operation through X-ray, computed tomography, 3D modeling, and working replicas. We see how turning a hand crank would set in motion a miniature cosmos, translating abstract cycles into visual and mechanical reality, revealing that its creators sought not only to understand the heavens but to bring them into human reach, allowing scholars or perhaps privileged users to interact with and explore cosmic patterns. Yet the mechanism's significance extends beyond its mechanical brilliance. It is a window into the intellectual world of the Hellenistic era, a period when mathematics, astronomy, philosophy, and engineering were deeply interconnected, when thinkers such as Hipparchus and Archimedes pursued precise observation and theoretical modeling, and when centers of learning like Rhodes fostered the exchange of knowledge. the mechanism embodies a culture that valued understanding the cosmos as a coherent, predictable system, where the pursuit of knowledge was both practical and philosophical, and in its design, we see the fusion of intellectual inquiry with tangible application, gears serving as instruments for teaching, calculation, and possibly even social or religious influence. The survival of the Antikythera mechanism also underscores the fragility and impermanence of knowledge, reminding us that even remarkable innovations can vanish with the loss of skilled practitioners, the decline of supporting institutions, or the disruption of historical continuity, as only fragments remain. Today, we are confronted with the possibility that countless other devices, ideas, or techniques may have existed and disappeared without leaving a trace. The gaps in the historical record challenge our assumptions about linear progress, suggesting instead that human innovation is cyclical, rising to impressive heights, sometimes lost, and occasionally rediscovered. The mechanism's rediscovery in the early 20th century and the subsequent decades of research exemplify this rediscovery. Bridging millennia to connect modern scientists with the ingenuity of ancient engineers, each technological advance, from imaging methods to mechanical reconstruction, has revealed previously hidden inscriptions and subtle features, allowing scholars to refine theories about its purpose and function, and demonstrating how modern knowledge can illuminate the past while highlighting its remaining mysteries. Philosophically, the Antikythera mechanism forces reflection on the human impulse to comprehend and model the natural world. It is a physical manifestation of curiosity, a machine that embodies the desire to make the invisible visible, the intangible tangible, and the chaotic orderly, and in doing so, it reminds us that the pursuit of understanding is timeless, linking those ancient hands that cut bronze gears to contemporary researchers analyzing digital scans, all united by a shared impulse to grasp the workings of the cosmos. Culturally, the mechanism has become a symbol of lost knowledge and human potential, inspiring scholars, engineers, writers, and the public alike. Its story resonates because it challenges conventional narratives of historical development, illustrating that sophistication and complexity existed far earlier than often assumed, and it invites speculation about what other capabilities ancient societies may have possessed. The ongoing research into the mechanism continues to evolve, as archaeologists revisit the Antikythera wreck with advanced diving equipment and imaging technology, hoping to uncover additional fragments, and as interdisciplinary teams combine history, physics, and engineering to test new reconstructions. Each discovery, however small, contributes to a deeper understanding of the device and its creators. Ultimately, the Antikythera mechanism is more than a historical artifact or scientific instrument. It is a testament to human curiosity, creativity, and the desire to bridge the known and unknown. It challenges us to rethink our assumptions about ancient civilizations, to recognize the continuity and fragility of knowledge, and to marvel at the ingenuity that has persisted across millennia. As we reflect on its intricate gears, precise inscriptions, and the cosmos encoded within its bronze framework, we are reminded that the quest to understand the universe is both ancient and ongoing, a pursuit that connects all generations, and that even in fragments, the Antikythera mechanism continues to inspire wonder, study, and a profound appreciation for the enduring capabilities of the human mind. The Antikythera mechanism, not only as a technical marvel but also as a catalyst for broader reflection on the relationship between science, society, and the imagination, because while its gears and dials demonstrate precise mathematical and astronomical knowledge, they also reveal a culture deeply invested in understanding and representing the universe. The device, retrieved from the seabed near Antikythera, embodies the convergence of observation, theory, and craftsmanship, illustrating that ancient thinkers did not separate abstract inquiry from practical application but sought to bring the cosmos into a form that could be manipulated, studied, and perhaps even taught. Its intricate system of interlocking bronze gears translated celestial cycles into mechanical motion, allowing users to track the sun, moon, and possibly planets, to predict eclipses through the Saros and Metonic cycles, and to visualize lunar phases, turning the intangible patterns of the heavens into something tangible and interactive. In this way, The mechanism functioned as both a scientific instrument and an educational device, bridging the gap between knowledge and experience, and its inscriptions, etched with meticulous detail, acted as an ancient user manual, providing instructions, explanations, and annotations, guiding users through its operation and ensuring that the knowledge encoded within it could be accessed and interpreted correctly. This combination of mechanical sophistication and textual guidance suggests that the creators were deeply concerned with communication and comprehension, perhaps intending the device to be used in scholarly circles or teaching environments, possibly in centers of learning like Rhodes, where intellectual exchange and innovation were fostered. Beyond its educational function, the Antikythera mechanism holds profound cultural significance, reflecting a worldview in which the cosmos was orderly, measurable, and intelligible, one where humans could not only observe celestial phenomena but also model and predict them. This approach required both philosophical insight and technical skill, combining the theoretical frameworks of thinkers such as Hipparchus with the mechanical ingenuity associated with Archimedes, suggesting that the device was the product of a sophisticated intellectual ecosystem that integrated multiple disciplines at the same time. The mechanism reminds us of the fragility of human knowledge, as only fragments survived. Lost in time, corrosion, and shipwreck, these gaps prompt reflection on how civilizations preserve, or fail to preserve, their intellectual achievements, and on the contingency of technological progress. The mechanism challenges the notion that human advancement follows a straightforward, linear path, instead revealing that brilliance can emerge, flourish, and then vanish, only to be rediscovered centuries later. The modern study of the device has transformed our understanding of ancient science, demonstrating that technological and mathematical sophistication existed long before previously assumed. The use of X-ray tomography, 3D modeling, and computer simulations has allowed researchers to reconstruct its operation, revealing its extraordinary precision and complexity. Experimental reconstructions show that the gears and dials could work smoothly, translating rotational motion into accurate representations of celestial cycles, and even accounting for irregularities in lunar motion. Through epicyclic gearing, these findings have expanded not only historical knowledge but also educational opportunities, as the mechanism is now used to teach astronomy, mathematics, and engineering principles, demonstrating the enduring relevance of ancient ideas. Moreover, the Antikythera mechanism has entered the realm of imagination and inspiration, influencing writers, filmmakers, and thinkers who see it as a symbol of lost knowledge, human curiosity, and the potential for ingenuity. Across ages, it invites us to consider what other technologies and insights may have existed in the past, reminding us that history is often incomplete and that our understanding of ancient civilizations must remain open to revision. As we contemplate the mechanism, we also encounter philosophical questions about the nature of knowledge itself. The translation of abstract mathematical and astronomical concepts into physical mechanisms highlights the human desire to make sense of the universe, to impose order on chaos, and to communicate that understanding across space and time. It shows that innovation is not solely the product of isolated genius but often emerges from collaborative intellectual communities, where ideas are shared, refined, and realized through skill and creativity. Finally, the Antikythera mechanism serves as a timeless bridge between past and present, connecting us to the aspirations, achievements, and curiosity of those who lived over 2,000 years ago. It reminds us that even in fragments, knowledge can inspire wonder, spark discovery, and challenge assumptions, and it calls on us to continue exploring, learning, and preserving the insights of our own time so that future generations may look back and recognize both our curiosity and our ingenuity. In this way, the mechanism is more than an artifact. It is a living testament to human intellect, imagination, and the enduring quest to understand the cosmos, a quest that transcends centuries and continues to shape our perception of the universe and our place within it. Delves into the ongoing exploration and future potential of the Antikythera mechanism, considering not only what we have learned but also the questions that continue to challenge researchers and inspire imagination, because even after more than a century since its discovery near Antikythera, this ancient device remains both a technological marvel and a profound historical enigma. The more we study it, the more it reveals about the sophistication of Hellenistic science, the ingenuity of its creators, and the complexity of knowledge preservation over millennia. At its core, the mechanism is a remarkable synthesis of observation, calculation, and mechanical engineering, transforming abstract astronomical principles into a tangible, interactive model. Its bronze gears, meticulously cut and interlocked, translate rotational motion into accurate representations of the sun, moon, and possibly the planets, while also predicting eclipses through the Saros cycle, tracking lunar phases, and modeling long-term cycles such as the Metonic and Callippic cycles. Each component reflects a deep understanding of celestial mechanics and mathematical relationships, and yet, despite this clarity, many aspects of the mechanism remain uncertain. For instance, scholars continue to debate the full range of its functions, the possibility of additional planetary indicators, and whether it might have included even more sophisticated predictive features. The fact that only about a third of the device survives complicates these investigations, and the absence of direct contemporaneous documentation leaves room for multiple interpretations. Modern technology has revolutionized the study of the mechanism, with high-resolution X-ray tomography revealing previously hidden inscriptions and fine details of gear arrangements, while 3D modeling and digital simulations allow researchers to test hypotheses about its operation. Mechanical reconstructions have confirmed that the gears could function as intended, demonstrating that the ancient designers possessed not only theoretical knowledge but also practical skill to implement it. Interdisciplinary collaboration has been key, with historians, engineers, physicists, and archaeologists working together to piece together both the physical structure and the intellectual context of the device. This cooperative approach underscores the complexity of understanding ancient technologies, which often require a blending of multiple fields. To interpret accurately, the Antikythera mechanism also invites reflection on the cultural and philosophical context in which it was created. Its very existence suggests a society that valued precise knowledge of the cosmos, where observation, mathematics, and craftsmanship were intertwined, and where understanding celestial patterns had practical, educational, and possibly symbolic significance. The device may have been used to teach students, to guide agricultural and religious calendars, or even to confer prestige and authority upon its owner, embodying a worldview in which the universe was orderly, intelligible, and capable of being modeled mechanically. Beyond its historical and technological significance, the mechanism continues to influence modern science and education, as it inspires students to explore the connections between mathematics, astronomy, and engineering, demonstrating that problem-solving, creativity, and interdisciplinary thinking are timeless skills. Furthermore, it challenges assumptions about linear progress, revealing that ancient societies were capable of astonishing ingenuity, and that knowledge can emerge, flourish, and then be partially lost, only to be rediscovered and appreciated centuries later. This lesson has broader implications, reminding us that the preservation and transmission of knowledge are essential to human progress, that brilliance can be fleeting, and that curiosity and diligence are required to maintain and expand understanding across generations. In addition, the ongoing study of the mechanism has sparked renewed interest in the archaeology of the region, encouraging further exploration of the wreck site near Antikythera. The discovery of additional fragments or related artifacts could provide unprecedented insights into Hellenistic technology and scientific culture. New findings could illuminate how the mechanism was produced, who used it, and how widespread similar technologies might have been. Looking to the future, the Antikythera mechanism serves as a symbol of both challenge and inspiration, reminding us that every generation has the opportunity to uncover hidden knowledge, to push the boundaries of understanding, and to connect with the ingenuity of those who came before. It embodies the human drive to make sense of the cosmos, to transform observation into understanding, and to leave a legacy that bridges centuries. As technology advances and research continues, there is hope that more of the mechanism's secrets will be revealed, perhaps reshaping our understanding of ancient science even further. Ultimately, the Antikythera mechanism stands as a timeless testament to human curiosity, creativity, and perseverance, a device that not only models the heavens but also illuminates the enduring capacity of the human mind to observe, invent, and inspire, encouraging us to explore, question, and marvel at the mysteries of both the past and the universe itself, a story that continues to unfold with every discovery, every experiment, and every new generation drawn to the enigmatic gears and hidden wisdom of this extraordinary ancient invention. Brings the focus to the enduring mysteries, modern interpretations, and broader significance of the Antikythera mechanism, emphasizing how this ancient device continues to challenge our understanding of history, technology, and human ingenuity. Recovered from the depths near Antikythera, the mechanism is more than a corroded bronze artifact. It is a testament to the sophistication of Hellenistic science and the intellectual ambition of its creators. Its interlocking gears and precisely calibrated dials modeled the motions of the sun, moon, and possibly planets, predicted eclipses via the Saros cycle, and tracked long-term cycles such as the Metonic and Kallipic periods, all encoded in a system that transformed abstract astronomical principles into a tangible, functioning machine. Scholars continue to marvel at the ingenuity required to produce such a device, combining theoretical mathematics, observational astronomy, and mechanical engineering at a level previously thought unattainable for its time. The mechanism also invites deep reflection on the nature of knowledge, its fragility, and the conditions necessary for its preservation. Only about 1/3 of the original device has survived, meaning much of what it could do remains unknown, and this scarcity highlights how easily advanced ideas can be lost to history due to shipwreck, decay, or social and political upheaval. Yet the surviving fragments, coupled with advanced imaging techniques like high-resolution X-ray computed tomography, have allowed researchers to reconstruct its design and operation with remarkable precision. These studies reveal thousands of inscriptions, which served as instructions and explanations, effectively creating an ancient user manual that ensured the device's knowledge could be accessed and transmitted. This combination of mechanical complexity and textual guidance demonstrates an acute awareness of communication and pedagogy, suggesting the mechanism may have served educational purposes as well as practical or symbolic ones. The cultural context of the Antikythera mechanism is equally compelling, as it reflects a worldview in which the universe was orderly, predictable, and intelligible. Ancient Greek thinkers such as Hipparchus and Archimedes pioneered mathematical models to describe celestial motion, and the mechanism materializes these ideas, transforming abstract cycles into interactive motion, a tangible embodiment of the Hellenistic pursuit of understanding. Moreover, the mechanism challenges assumptions about technological progress, revealing that sophisticated mechanical devices existed long before medieval clockwork, and that ancient engineers were capable of feats often attributed only to the modern era. Its very existence suggests a high degree of scientific literacy, precision craftsmanship, and interdisciplinary thinking that resonates with contemporary principles of STEM education. Modern reconstructions and simulations not only illuminate the function of the mechanism but also demonstrate the enduring relevance of these ancient concepts. By building replicas and modeling its cycles digitally, researchers can test theories, explore its functions, and provide educational experiences that connect past ingenuity to present understanding. Beyond academia, the Antikythera mechanism has captured the imagination of the public, inspiring literature, documentaries, and exhibitions that highlight its complexity, its role as a symbol of lost knowledge, and the extraordinary capabilities of ancient civilizations. Its story underscores that human creativity and curiosity are constants across time, a reminder that innovation is not exclusive to any era but emerges wherever intellect, observation, and skill converge. Philosophically, the mechanism prompts reflection on the human desire to comprehend the cosmos, to model it, and to communicate that understanding, transforming observation into practical and educational instruments. It exemplifies a profound connection between abstract reasoning and tangible application, demonstrating that understanding the universe is both a theoretical and physical endeavor. Finally, the Antikythera mechanism stands as a bridge across millennia, linking the minds of ancient engineers to modern researchers, educators, and enthusiasts. Its gears, inscriptions, and cycles are not merely relics but invitations to inquiry, urging us to continue exploring, questioning, and imagining. The device embodies the enduring quest for knowledge, the persistence of curiosity, and the capacity of human beings to innovate, model, and share understanding, reminding us that even fragments of the past can illuminate profound truths about intellect, culture, and the unbroken human fascination with the cosmos. As we reflect on its complexity, its mystery, and its legacy, the mechanism remains both a challenge and an inspiration, a reminder that history is filled with brilliance, waiting to be rediscovered, and that the pursuit of understanding, like the turning of its interlocking gears, is a timeless and ongoing motion, connecting every generation to the desire to grasp, represent, and comprehend the universe in all its intricate beauty and enduring mystery. The series delves into the continuing legacy, technological insights, and philosophical reflections inspired by the Antikythera mechanism, emphasizing how this ancient device serves as a bridge between antiquity and the modern scientific world. Recovered from the seabed near Antikythera, the mechanism reveals a civilization capable of extraordinary observation, calculation, and craftsmanship. Its interlocking bronze gears translated the complex motions of the sun, moon, and possibly planets into tangible mechanical motion, while also predicting eclipses through the Saros cycle and tracking long-term astronomical periods like the Metonic and Callippic cycles. Each component reflects a mastery of both mathematical theory and practical engineering, a synthesis that underscores the intellectual sophistication of the Hellenistic era. And as modern researchers continue to study it using advanced technologies such as high-resolution X-ray tomography, 3D modeling, and digital simulation, previously hidden inscriptions and subtleties of the gear system are being revealed, allowing scholars to reconstruct the device with remarkable accuracy and to explore hypotheses about functions that remain partly mysterious. These studies demonstrate not only the mechanism's mechanical brilliance but also its role as an educational instrument, with detailed inscriptions providing instructions and explanations, effectively a guidebook to celestial mechanics that could be interpreted by knowledgeable users. The mechanism thus embodies a culture where observation, theory, and practical application were deeply interconnected, reflecting the broader intellectual environment of centers like Rhodes, where scholars such as Hipparchus and Archimedes had pioneered mathematical models of the cosmos. In this context, the mechanism is both a scientific tool and a cultural artifact, revealing the ways knowledge was developed, shared, and preserved. It challenges assumptions about linear technological progress, showing that advanced mechanical systems existed far earlier than commonly believed, and that human ingenuity has long been capable of integrating observation, calculation, and physical modeling. The rediscovery and study of the mechanism have also reshaped modern educational approaches, inspiring interdisciplinary learning that connects history, mathematics, physics, and engineering. Students and researchers can engage with the device through replicas and simulations, exploring how abstract cycles are translated into tangible motion, gaining insight into both ancient and contemporary problem-solving strategies. The mechanism's story also emphasizes the fragility and resilience of knowledge, as only a fraction of the original device survived, reminding us that remarkable achievements can be lost through accident, neglect, or historical disruption. Yet the surviving fragments, when combined with careful study and modern technology, allow the brilliance of the past to inform the present. Beyond technical and educational significance, the Antikythera mechanism has captured the imagination of the public, serving as a symbol of lost knowledge, human curiosity, and the continuity of intellectual aspiration across time. It illustrates that the drive to comprehend and model the universe is timeless, that creativity and precision are not exclusive to any era, and that discovery is often a process of reconstruction, reinterpretation, and renewed understanding. Philosophically, the mechanism invites reflection on the nature of knowledge itself. demonstrating that the transformation of abstract concepts into tangible mechanisms embodies a fundamental human desire to understand, predict, and communicate, and it highlights the interdependence of theory and practice, showing that learning is both intellectual and experiential. The continuing research into the mechanism, including potential additional fragments at the Antikythera rec and ongoing interdisciplinary collaborations, ensures that it remains a dynamic object of study, not a static relic. Each new insight, whether about gear ratios, inscriptions, or mechanical function, deepens our understanding of ancient ingenuity while also inspiring contemporary innovation. The mechanism's legacy extends into broader questions about civilization, preservation, and human curiosity, illustrating that the pursuit of understanding is not limited by time, that ideas can transcend centuries, and that fragments of the past can illuminate profound truths about human capability. Ultimately, the Antikythera mechanism stands as a testament to the enduring human desire to observe, comprehend, and model the cosmos, linking ancient scholars to modern scientists, students, and enthusiasts. Its interlocking gears and precise inscriptions continue to turn in our collective imagination, encouraging us to marvel, investigate, and learn, reminding us that the quest for knowledge is ongoing, that the universe offers mysteries to explore across generations, and that even fragments of history can inspire insight, ingenuity, and wonder, ensuring that the mechanism's influence will endure as both a scientific and cultural beacon, symbolizing the timeless pursuit of understanding that unites all humanity. This journey toward a deeper, almost philosophical horizon, where the Antikythera mechanism is no longer just an artifact to be studied but a symbol to be understood, a silent voice from antiquity that continues to speak to our modern world. Recovered from the depths near Antikythera, this extraordinary device represents more than the sum of its gears and inscriptions. It embodies a moment in history when human curiosity, observation, and craftsmanship align to produce something far ahead of its time, a machine capable of modeling the cosmos itself. And yet, as we reflect on everything uncovered so far, we begin to realize that the true mystery is not just how it worked, but why such knowledge emerged, flourished, and then seemed to vanish, leaving behind only fragments for us to rediscover centuries later. This question forces us to reconsider our assumptions about progress, because the existence of the mechanism challenges the idea that human advancement is always linear, instead suggesting that knowledge can rise to incredible heights and then be lost due to factors beyond intellectual capability, such as war, economic decline, or the collapse of cultural institutions. And this realization carries an important lesson for our own time, reminding us that the preservation of knowledge requires not only discovery but also continuity, communication, and collective effort. The Antikythera mechanism also invites us to reflect on the relationship between humans and the universe, because at its core, it is a device that transforms the vast, seemingly infinite motions of celestial bodies into a finite, understandable system of gears and rotations. It represents an attempt to bring order to the cosmos, to make sense of patterns that might otherwise seem chaotic, and in doing so, it reveals a deeply human desire to understand our place in the universe, a desire that connects us to the ancient thinkers who may have drawn inspiration from figures like Hipparchus and Archimedes, whose ideas about mathematics, motion, and observation laid the groundwork for such a creation. This connection across time is perhaps one of the most powerful aspects of the mechanism. It shows us that despite the vast differences in technology and culture, the fundamental questions we ask about the universe remain the same. How do the heavens move? What patterns govern them? And can we predict their behavior? The mechanism answers these questions not with words alone, but with motion, with a physical representation that turns theory into reality. And this transformation is what makes it so remarkable, because it demonstrates that knowledge is not just something to be thought about, but something that can be built, tested, and experienced. As modern researchers continue to study the mechanism using advanced tools and techniques, they are not only uncovering new details about its construction and function but also engaging in a process of rediscovery that mirrors the original act of creation. Each new insight adds another piece to the puzzle, bringing us closer to understanding not only the device itself but also the world that produced it. And yet, despite all these efforts, the mechanism retains an element of mystery that cannot be fully resolved. There are still missing pieces, unanswered questions, and competing theories, and perhaps that is part of its enduring appeal, because it reminds us that knowledge is never complete, that there is always more to learn, more to explore, and more to question. In a way, the Antikythera mechanism serves as both a mirror and a guide, reflecting our own curiosity and encouraging us to continue seeking answers. It stands as a testament to the power of human ingenuity, showing that even in the distant past, people were capable of extraordinary achievements, and at the same time, it challenges us to think about how we preserve and build upon that knowledge, ensuring that the discoveries of today are not lost to the future. As we look ahead, the mechanism continues to inspire new generations of scientists, historians, and thinkers, inviting them to explore the boundaries between past and present, science and history, reality and imagination, and in doing so, it keeps the story alive, a story that is not confined to ancient Greece or a single shipwreck, but one that belongs to all of humanity. A story of curiosity, creativity, and the relentless pursuit of understanding. And as this series moves forward, the Antikythera mechanism remains not just a subject of study, but a source of inspiration, a reminder that the quest to understand the universe is timeless, and that every discovery, no matter how small, brings us one step closer to unraveling the mysteries that have fascinated us for centuries, a journey that continues, just like the turning of its ancient gears, endlessly moving, endlessly revealing, and endlessly inspiring. This extraordinary journey to a reflective and almost poetic culmination, where the Antikythera mechanism is no longer just an ancient device or a historical puzzle, but a symbol of humanity's enduring relationship with knowledge, time, and the universe itself. Recovered from the silent depths near Antikythera, this remarkable creation has guided us through layers of discovery, from its accidental finding by divers to its painstaking reconstruction through modern science. And now, as we stand at the edge of what we know and what still remains hidden, we begin to understand that its true significance lies not only in its gears and calculations, but in what it represents, a bridge between worlds, between the ancient and the modern, between imagination and reality, because at its core, the mechanism is a story about human curiosity, about the desire to understand something far greater than ourselves, the vast and complex movements of the cosmos, and to bring that understanding into a form we can hold, manipulate, and learn from. The creators of this device, possibly influenced by minds like Hipparchus and Archimedes, were not simply building a machine, they were expressing an idea, that the universe operates according to patterns that can be observed, studied, and ultimately replicated, and this idea continues to resonate even today, forming the foundation of modern science and technology. Yet the story of the Antikythera mechanism is also a reminder of the fragility of knowledge, how easily it can be lost, forgotten, or buried beneath the weight of time, only to be rediscovered by chance centuries later. And this dual nature, as both a triumph and a mystery, is what gives the mechanism its enduring power. It challenges us to think differently about history, to question the assumption that progress is always forward-moving, and to recognize that even the most advanced ideas can disappear if they are not preserved and shared. In this way, the mechanism becomes more than an object, it becomes a lesson, a warning, and an inspiration all at once. As modern researchers continue to study it, returning to the Antikythera wreck with advanced technology and new perspectives, they are not just uncovering fragments of metal, they are uncovering fragments of thought, pieces of an intellectual legacy that connects us directly to the past, and each new discovery, no matter how small, adds to this legacy, expanding our understanding and deepening the mystery. Because even now, we do not have all the answers, there are still missing components, unknown functions, and unanswered questions that keep the story alive, and perhaps that is exactly how it should be. Because the Antikythera mechanism is not just about answers, it is about questions, about the drive to explore, to investigate, and to push beyond the limits of what we know. It reminds us that knowledge is not a destination, but a journey, one that is constantly evolving, shaped by curiosity. creativity, and the willingness to challenge assumptions. As we conclude this series, we are left not with a final solution, but with a deeper appreciation for the complexity and beauty of both the mechanism and the human mind that created it. We see that even in a world without modern tools or technology, people were capable of extraordinary insight and innovation, capable of looking at the stars and imagining a way to bring their movements down to Earth, into a form that could be studied and understood, and in doing so, they created something timeless, something that continues to inspire wonder and curiosity thousands of years later. The Antikythera mechanism stands as a testament to the power of human ingenuity, a reminder that the desire to understand the universe is as old as humanity itself, and that this desire transcends time, culture, and circumstance, connecting us to those who came before and those who will come after. And as we look to the future, it encourages us to continue asking questions, to continue exploring, and to continue building, because somewhere out there, in the vast expanse of knowledge still waiting to be discovered, there may be new mysteries just as profound, just as inspiring, and just as transformative as the one hidden for centuries beneath the sea, waiting patiently for the moment when human curiosity would once again bring it to light. Opens a new layer of reflection, where the Antikythera mechanism is viewed not only as a relic of the past but as a mirror held up to our present and future, a reminder that every age believes itself to be the peak of knowledge until something unexpected reshapes that belief, much like this ancient device did when it emerged from the waters near Antikythera, forcing historians and scientists to rethink the technological capabilities of ancient civilizations. What makes this stage of the journey so compelling is the realization that the mechanism's story is still unfolding, not because the object itself is changing, but because our perspective is, as new technologies, methods, and ideas continue to influence how we interpret its purpose and significance. Researchers today are not only reconstructing the gears and decoding inscriptions, they are also reconstructing the intellectual environment that allowed such a device to exist, a world where observation of the heavens was both a scientific and philosophical pursuit, where the movements of celestial bodies were seen as patterns to be understood rather than mysteries to be feared, and this perspective is deeply connected to the traditions of ancient Greek thought, shaped by figures like Hipparchus and Archimedes, whose work laid the foundations for mathematical modeling and mechanical innovation. The mechanism itself can be seen as a culmination of these ideas, a physical representation of the belief that the universe operates according to principles that can be discovered, calculated, and even predicted. But what makes it truly remarkable is that this belief was not just theoretical, it was translated into a working machine, something that could be held, operated, and experienced. And this transformation from idea to reality is at the heart of human innovation. It is what drives progress across all fields, from science and engineering to art and philosophy. Yet the Antikythera mechanism also reminds us that innovation is not guaranteed to persist, that even the most advanced ideas can be lost if they are not supported by stable institutions, shared widely, and preserved carefully. The disappearance of this level of mechanical sophistication for over 1,000 years suggests that knowledge is not only created but also maintained through social, cultural, and economic systems, and when those systems falter, knowledge can fade with them. This realization has important implications for our modern world, where information is more abundant than ever, but also more vulnerable in different ways. It challenges us to think about how we preserve and transmit knowledge, ensuring that future generations can build upon what we have learned rather than rediscovering it from fragments. The ongoing exploration of the Antikythera wreck plays a crucial role in this process, as each new expedition has the potential to uncover additional pieces of the mechanism or related artifacts, providing new insights into its construction, use, and context. These efforts are supported by cutting-edge technology, from advanced diving equipment to high-resolution imaging systems, allowing researchers to explore areas that were previously inaccessible and to analyze the recovered materials with unprecedented precision. And yet, despite all these advancements, there is still an element of uncertainty that cannot be eliminated. There are still gaps in the evidence, questions that remain unanswered, and theories that continue to evolve. and perhaps this is what makes the Antikythera mechanism so enduringly fascinating, because it exists at the intersection of knowledge and mystery, where each answer leads to new questions, and each discovery opens up new possibilities. It is a reminder that the pursuit of understanding is never complete, that there is always more to learn, more to explore, and more to question. As we approach the final part of this series, the mechanism stands as both a conclusion and a beginning, a conclusion to the idea that ancient technology was simple and limited, and a beginning of a new perspective that recognizes the complexity and sophistication of early scientific thought. It challenges us to rethink not only the past but also the future, to imagine what discoveries might still lie hidden, waiting to reshape our understanding once again, and to appreciate the delicate balance between knowledge and mystery that drives human curiosity forward, because, in the end, the Antikythera mechanism is not just about what we know, but about what we are still trying to discover, a timeless reminder that the quest for understanding is as endless as the universe it seeks to explain. Brings this long and fascinating journey to its ultimate conclusion, where the Antikythera mechanism stands not only as an ancient artifact but as a timeless symbol of human curiosity, resilience, and the endless pursuit of understanding. Discovered beneath the waters near Antikythera, this extraordinary device has guided us through layers of history, science, mystery, and philosophy, revealing a story that is far greater than the sum of its bronze gears and fragmented remains. As we reflect on everything uncovered throughout this series, it becomes clear that the true significance of the mechanism lies not just in what it does, but in what it represents, a moment in human history where knowledge, imagination, and craftsmanship converge to produce something far ahead of its time, a machine capable of modeling the cosmos itself. And yet, despite its brilliance, it was lost, hidden beneath the sea for centuries, reminding us that even the greatest achievements can fade into obscurity if they are not preserved, shared, and understood. This dual nature of the Antikythera mechanism, as both a triumph of human ingenuity and a symbol of lost knowledge, is what makes it so powerful. It challenges us to rethink our assumptions about progress, to recognize that history is not always a straight line of advancement, but a complex and often unpredictable journey, where ideas can emerge, disappear, and be rediscovered long after their time. The mechanism also connects us to the minds of those who created it, individuals who looked up at the same sky we see today and sought to understand its patterns. Influenced by thinkers like Hipparchus and Archimedes, they transformed observation into calculation, and calculation into mechanism, bridging the gap between theory and reality in a way that continues to inspire modern science and engineering. As researchers today continue to study the device, using advanced technologies to decode its inscriptions and reconstruct its functions, they are not just uncovering the past, they are engaging in a dialogue across time, connecting ancient knowledge with modern understanding, and in doing so, they are ensuring that the story of the Antikythera mechanism continues to evolve. Even now, new discoveries at the Antikythera wreck hold the potential to reveal additional fragments or insights, reminding us that the story is never truly finished. There is always more to learn, more to explore, and more to question. Beyond its historical and scientific importance, the mechanism carries a deeper message about the nature of knowledge itself. It teaches us that understanding is not static, but dynamic, constantly shaped by discovery, interpretation, and reinterpretation. It shows us that curiosity is one of the most powerful forces driving human progress, a force that transcends time, culture, and circumstance, connecting us to those who came before and those who will come after. And perhaps most importantly, it reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is not just about finding answers, but about asking questions, about exploring the unknown, and about embracing the mystery that surrounds us. As we close this series, the Antikythera mechanism remains what it has always been, a bridge between worlds, between past and present, science and imagination, certainty and mystery. Its gears may be silent, its fragments incomplete, but its story continues to move, inspiring us to look beyond what we know, to challenge what we assume, and to continue the journey of discovery that has defined humanity for thousands of years. Because in the end, the true legacy of the Antikythera mechanism is not just the knowledge it contains, but the curiosity it ignites, a curiosity that drives us to explore the universe, to understand our place within it, and to keep searching for answers, no matter how deep they may be hidden. A timeless reminder that the quest for understanding never truly ends, it only evolves, just like the turning of those ancient gears, forever moving forward, forever revealing, and forever inspiring generations to come. Begins not as an ending, but as a continuation beyond conclusions, where the story of the Antikythera mechanism evolves from a historical narrative into a lasting legacy that stretches into the future, because even after everything we have explored, from its discovery near Antikythera to its reconstruction through modern science, the mechanism refuses to remain confined to the past. Instead, it continues to influence how we think, how we learn, and how we imagine what is possible, in many ways. It has become a symbol of hidden potential, a reminder that knowledge is not always visible, that some of the most profound ideas can lie buried for centuries before being rediscovered, and when they are, they have the power to reshape entire fields of study. The Antikythera mechanism has done exactly that, challenging historians to rethink the timeline of technological development, inspiring engineers to revisit ancient design principles, and encouraging scientists to approach the study of history with new tools and perspectives. This ongoing impact highlights an important truth, that discovery is not a single moment, but a process, one that unfolds over time as new generations bring new insights and technologies to the same questions, and this process mirrors the very function of the mechanism itself, a system of cycles and movements that continue endlessly, reflecting the rhythms of the cosmos. As modern researchers build increasingly sophisticated models of the device, combining mechanical reconstruction with digital simulation, they are not only uncovering how it worked, but also why it mattered. And this why is perhaps the most compelling aspect of all, because it speaks to the human desire to understand the universe, to find patterns in complexity, and to create tools that make those patterns accessible. The creators of the mechanism, influenced by intellectual traditions associated with figures like Hipparchus and Archimedes, were part of a culture that valued knowledge not just as an abstract pursuit, but as something that could be applied, demonstrated, and shared. And this idea continues to resonate today, as education and innovation increasingly emphasize the importance of interdisciplinary thinking, the blending of theory and practice, and the use of technology to visualize and explore complex concepts. The Antikythera mechanism embodies all of these principles, making it not just a relic of the past, but a model for the future. It shows us that true innovation often comes from the integration of different fields, from the ability to see connections where others see separation, and from the willingness to experiment, to build, and to refine. At the same time, it reminds us of the importance of preservation, of ensuring that knowledge is not only created but also maintained and transmitted, because without this continuity, even the most advanced ideas can be lost, as happened with the mechanism itself, whose level of sophistication was not seen again for more than 1,000 years. This lesson is particularly relevant in our modern world, where information is abundant but not always secure, where the rapid pace of change can sometimes outstrip our ability to preserve and understand what we create. The ongoing exploration of the Antikythera wreck serves as a powerful metaphor for this process, a reminder that there are still discoveries waiting to be made, still pieces of the puzzle hidden beneath layers of time, and that the pursuit of knowledge is never truly complete. As we look to the future, the Antikythera mechanism stands as both an inspiration and a challenge, encouraging us to push the boundaries of what we know, to question our assumptions, and to remain open to the possibility that there is always more to learn. It invites us to think not only about the past, but about the kind of legacy we are creating for future generations, and whether our own innovations will be preserved, understood, or perhaps rediscovered centuries from now. In this sense, the story of the Antikythera mechanism is not just about ancient Greece or a single extraordinary device. It is about humanity as a whole, about our shared curiosity, our capacity for creativity, and our ongoing quest to understand the universe and our place within it. And as this series continues beyond even this point, it carries forward that same spirit of exploration, reminding us that every answer leads to new questions. Every discovery opens new paths, and every generation has the opportunity to contribute to the ever-evolving story of knowledge, a story that, like the turning gears of the mechanism, never truly stops, but continues to move, to reveal, and to inspire. Moves beyond the idea of conclusion and into the realm of legacy in motion, where the Antikythera mechanism is no longer just something we study, but something that actively reshapes how we think about knowledge, innovation, and the future of discovery, because even after centuries beneath the sea near Antikythera, its influence continues to ripple outward, inspiring new questions, new technologies, and new ways of understanding the relationship between humanity and the universe. What makes this stage of the journey especially compelling is the realization that the mechanism is not frozen in time. Instead, it evolves with every new interpretation, every new reconstruction, and every new generation that engages with its mystery. Modern researchers, engineers, and historians are not simply uncovering its past, they are actively extending its story, using digital simulations, precision engineering, and interdisciplinary collaboration to explore possibilities that even its original creators may never have imagined. In this sense, the Antikythera mechanism has become a living idea, one that transcends its physical form and continues to grow as our understanding deepens. It stands as a powerful reminder that knowledge is not static, but dynamic, shaped by context, perspective, and technological capability, and this idea resonates strongly in today's world, where rapid advancements in science and technology are constantly redefining what is possible. The mechanism challenges us to look at innovation differently, to recognize that breakthroughs are not always new, but sometimes rediscovered, that the seeds of modern ideas may lie hidden in the past, waiting for the right moment to be understood. This perspective encourages a more holistic view of history, one that sees it not as a series of isolated achievements, but as a continuous dialogue between generations, where ideas are passed down, transformed, and occasionally lost, only to be found again, as we reflect on the intellectual traditions that may have given rise to the mechanism. Influenced by figures such as Hipparchus and Archimedes, we begin to see how deeply interconnected knowledge truly is, how mathematics, astronomy, engineering, and philosophy can come together to produce something extraordinary, and how this kind of integration remains essential for innovation today. The mechanism also highlights the importance of curiosity as a driving force, a quality that transcends time and culture, connecting us to those ancient minds who looked at the sky and asked questions that still resonate today. How do celestial bodies move? What patterns govern them? And can those patterns be predicted? These questions, once explored through bronze gears and hand-cranked dials, are now investigated through satellites, supercomputers, and space telescopes, yet the underlying curiosity remains the same, creating a profound sense of continuity between past and present. The ongoing exploration of the Antikythera wreck reinforces this idea, as each new expedition represents not just a search for physical fragments, but a search for understanding, a continuation of a journey that began thousands of years ago. And as technology continues to advance, the potential for new discoveries grows, raising the possibility that we may one day uncover additional pieces of the mechanism or even entirely new artifacts that further illuminate the scientific achievements of the ancient world. Yet even if no new fragments are found, the Antikythera mechanism will continue to evolve in meaning, because its true power lies not in its completeness, but in its ability to inspire, to challenge, and to provoke thought. It reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is never finished, that every discovery opens new questions, and that the boundaries of understanding are constantly shifting. As we carry this story forward, the mechanism becomes more than an object of study, it becomes a symbol of human potential, a testament to what can be achieved when curiosity, creativity, and determination come together, and a reminder that the future of discovery is built on the foundations of the past, foundations that are sometimes hidden, sometimes forgotten, but always waiting to be uncovered, explored, and understood, ensuring that the legacy of the Antikythera mechanism continues not just as a chapter in history, but as an ongoing journey of exploration, innovation, and inspiration that extends far beyond its ancient origins. continues this unfolding journey by turning our attention to the idea of rediscovery itself, exploring how the Antikythera mechanism, recovered from the waters near Antikythera, represents not just a single moment of revelation but a recurring pattern in human history, where knowledge emerges, disappears, and then reappears in new forms, often reshaping the way we understand both the past and the present. This pattern challenges the conventional narrative of steady, uninterrupted progress, suggesting instead that human advancement is more like a series of waves, rising and falling, carrying ideas forward, losing some along the way, and occasionally bringing them back to the surface centuries later. The mechanism is one of the most striking examples of this phenomenon, a device so advanced that it seems almost out of place in its time, and yet firmly rooted in the intellectual traditions of the ancient world, influenced by thinkers such as Hipparchus and Archimedes, whose work laid the foundations for mathematical modeling and mechanical innovation. What makes this rediscovery even more fascinating is the way modern technology has become a partner in the process, allowing us to see beyond the surface of the surviving fragments, to uncover hidden inscriptions, to reconstruct missing components, and to simulate the mechanism's operation with a level of precision that would have been unimaginable just a few decades ago. This collaboration between ancient ingenuity and modern science creates a unique dialogue across time, where each generation contributes to a deeper understanding of the same object, adding new layers of meaning and interpretation. And yet, despite all these advancements, the mechanism remains incomplete, both physically and conceptually, reminding us that rediscovery is never total, that there will always be gaps, uncertainties, and mysteries that resist full explanation, and it is precisely this incompleteness that keeps the story alive. That encourages further exploration, and that fuels the imagination. The Antikythera mechanism also invites us to reflect on the conditions that allow knowledge to be preserved or lost. Its disappearance from the historical record suggests that even highly advanced ideas can vanish if they are not widely shared, documented, or supported by stable institutions. This lesson resonates strongly in the modern world, where the rapid pace of technological change creates both opportunities and risks. On one hand, we have unprecedented access to information and tools for preservation, but on the other, we face new challenges related to data loss, obsolescence, and the sheer volume of knowledge being produced, making it difficult to ensure that everything of value is retained and understood. The mechanism serves as a powerful reminder that preservation is not automatic, that it requires intentional effort, collaboration, and foresight. As researchers continue to explore the Antikythera wreck, they are not only searching for physical fragments but also engaging in a broader effort to reconstruct the intellectual and cultural context in which the device was created. This includes examining trade networks, educational practices, and scientific traditions of the Hellenistic world, all of which contribute to a more complete understanding of how such a remarkable invention could come into existence, and how it might have been used, shared, or even valued by those who encountered it. At the same time, the mechanism continues to inspire new forms of creativity and innovation, influencing fields as diverse as engineering, education, and even art. Its story has become a source of inspiration for those who see in it a symbol of human potential, a reminder that great ideas can come from unexpected places and times, and that the boundaries of what we consider possible are often shaped by our own assumptions. As we move forward in this series, the Antikythera mechanism stands as both a challenge and an invitation, a challenge to rethink our understanding of history and progress, and an invitation to continue exploring, questioning, and imagining, because in the end, the story of this ancient device is not just about what was discovered in the past, but about what we choose to discover in the future, and how we carry forward the knowledge, curiosity, and creativity that define us as a species, ensuring that the cycle of discovery and rediscovery continues, just like the turning gears of the mechanism itself, endlessly moving, endlessly evolving, and endlessly inspiring those who seek to understand the mysteries of the universe. Moves even deeper into the idea that the Antikythera mechanism is not merely a rediscovered artifact, but a living narrative of human thought that continues to expand with every interpretation, every reconstruction, and every question it inspires. Because what was once a silent mass of corroded bronze pulled from the sea near Antikythera has now become one of the most profound symbols of intellectual continuity across time, and yet, even after everything we have learned, the mechanism resists complete understanding, almost as if it is deliberately inviting each generation to engage with it in new ways, to reinterpret its purpose and significance through the lens of their own knowledge and technology. This evolving relationship between the object and its observers highlights a powerful truth about knowledge itself, that it is not fixed or absolute, but dynamic, shaped by context, perspective, and the tools available to those who seek to understand it. In the ancient world, the creators of the mechanism, likely influenced by traditions associated with Hipparchus and Archimedes, used the best knowledge and techniques available to them to model the cosmos, translating complex astronomical cycles into mechanical motion with remarkable precision. They built a device that could not only calculate but also demonstrate, turning abstract ideas into something visible and tangible. And in doing so, they created a tool that was both scientific and philosophical, a representation of the belief that the universe operates according to patterns that can be understood and predicted. Fast forward to the modern era, and we see a similar process unfolding. Researchers are using advanced imaging technologies, digital simulations, and interdisciplinary collaboration to uncover details that were hidden for centuries, revealing inscriptions, gear ratios, and structural features that continue to reshape our understanding of the device. But what is particularly fascinating is how each new discovery does not simply answer questions, it creates new ones, expanding the scope of inquiry rather than closing it. This continuous expansion is what keeps the Antikythera mechanism relevant, transforming it from a static historical object into an active participant in the ongoing pursuit of knowledge. It also highlights the importance of perspective, showing that our understanding of the past is always influenced by the present, that what we are able to see and interpret depends on the tools, methods, and ideas we bring to the process. In this sense, the mechanism acts as a mirror, reflecting not only the ingenuity of its creators but also the evolving nature of human understanding. The story of its rediscovery and study also underscores the collaborative nature of knowledge, as researchers from different disciplines and countries come together to share insights, test hypotheses, and build upon each other's work. This global effort mirrors the interconnected intellectual networks of the ancient world, where ideas were exchanged and developed across regions, contributing to innovations like the mechanism itself. The ongoing exploration of the Antikythera wreck further emphasizes this point, as each expedition represents a collective endeavor to uncover not just physical artifacts, but pieces of a larger intellectual puzzle. And while the possibility of finding additional fragments remains uncertain, the search itself is a testament to the enduring human desire to understand and connect with the past. Beyond its scientific and historical significance, the Antikythera mechanism also holds a powerful symbolic meaning, representing the idea that knowledge can transcend time, that even when it is lost, it can be rediscovered and reinterpreted, and that each generation has the opportunity to contribute to this ongoing process. It challenges us to think about our own role in this continuum, to consider how we create, preserve, and share knowledge, and to recognize that the innovations of today may one day become the mysteries of the future. As we continue this series, the mechanism stands as both a reminder and an inspiration, a reminder that the past is more complex and sophisticated than we often assume, and an inspiration to keep exploring, questioning, and imagining. Because the story of the Antikythera mechanism is far from over, it continues to evolve with every new discovery, every new idea, and every new generation that engages with its mystery, ensuring that its legacy remains not only preserved but also alive, a dynamic and ever-expanding testament to the power of human curiosity and the endless journey of understanding that defines us as a species. Carries the journey forward into a space where the Antikythera mechanism becomes not only a subject of study but a lens through which we examine our own era, our own assumptions, and the future of human knowledge. Because what began as a mysterious discovery near Antikythera has evolved into a powerful narrative about the continuity of curiosity and the fragile nature of intellectual progress. As we reflect on everything uncovered so far, one of the most striking realizations is how the mechanism challenges the boundaries we place between ancient and modern, showing that the gap between them is not as vast as we often imagine. The creators of this device, likely drawing from traditions influenced by thinkers such as Hipparchus and Archimedes, were engaged in a process that feels remarkably familiar today, observing patterns, building models, testing ideas, and refining their understanding through iteration and experimentation. This process, which lies at the heart of modern science and engineering, demonstrates that the essence of innovation has remained consistent across centuries, even as the tools and technologies have changed. The Antikythera mechanism also forces us to confront the limitations of our own perspective, because for so long, historians believed that such mechanical sophistication did not exist in the ancient world, and it was only through careful analysis, technological advancement, and a willingness to question established narratives that this assumption was overturned. This serves as a powerful reminder that our understanding of history is always incomplete, always subject to revision, and that new discoveries have the potential to reshape even our most deeply held beliefs. In this way, the mechanism becomes a symbol of intellectual humility, encouraging us to remain open to new ideas and to recognize that knowledge is not a fixed set of facts, but a dynamic and evolving process. As modern researchers continue to study the device, using tools such as X-ray imaging, digital reconstruction, and mechanical replication, they are not only uncovering the details of its construction but also exploring the broader context in which it was created, examining the networks of trade, education, and cultural exchange that may have contributed to its development. This holistic approach highlights the interconnected nature of knowledge, showing that innovation rarely occurs in isolation, but is instead the result of collaboration, communication, and shared understanding. The ongoing exploration of the Antikythera wreck continues to play a crucial role in this process, offering the possibility of new discoveries that could further illuminate the story of the mechanism and the world that produced it. Each expedition represents not just a search for artifacts, but a deeper search for meaning, for connections, and for a more complete understanding of the past. Beyond its historical and scientific significance, the Antikythera mechanism also has profound implications for the future, particularly in how we think about the preservation and transmission of knowledge. In a world where information is increasingly digital and rapidly evolving, the story of this ancient device reminds us that knowledge can be lost just as easily as it is created, and that preserving it requires intentional effort, thoughtful organization, and a commitment to accessibility and continuity. It challenges us to consider what aspects of our own technological and intellectual achievements will endure, and how they will be interpreted by future generations. Will they see our innovations as obvious steps forward, or will they be as surprised by them as we are by the mechanism? This perspective adds a new dimension to the story, transforming it from a tale of ancient ingenuity into a reflection on our own place in the continuum of knowledge. As we continue this series, the Antikythera mechanism stands as both a guide and a question, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of the past while also asking us to think critically about the present and the future. It reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is not just about discovery, but about preservation, interpretation, and communication, and that each generation has a role to play in this ongoing process, ensuring that the ideas and innovations of today are not lost, but carried forward, built upon, and understood. In this sense, the mechanism is not just an artifact, but a living legacy, a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity and the endless journey of discovery that defines our species, a journey that continues to unfold with every question we ask and every answer we seek, moving forward just like the gears of the mechanism itself, endlessly turning, endlessly revealing, and endlessly inspiring. Extends the narrative into a realm where the Antikythera mechanism becomes a reflection of humanity's evolving relationship with complexity, innovation, and the unknown, because what was once an isolated discovery near Antikythera now stands as a profound symbol of how knowledge can transcend its original context and continue to influence thinking across generations. As we look deeper into its significance, we begin to see that the mechanism is not only about understanding the cosmos, but also about understanding how humans approach complexity itself, its intricate network of gears, each precisely calculated and interconnected, mirrors the way knowledge systems are built, layer upon layer, idea upon idea, forming structures that allow us to interpret and navigate the world around us. And this parallel becomes even more striking when we consider how modern science operates. With its reliance on interconnected fields, collaborative research, and cumulative knowledge, in many ways, the creators of the mechanism were engaging in a similar process, integrating mathematical theories, astronomical observations, and mechanical craftsmanship into a unified system that could model the movements of celestial bodies with remarkable accuracy, influenced by intellectual traditions associated with figures like Hipparchus and Archimedes. They demonstrated an understanding of the universe that was both analytical and creative, combining precision with imagination, and this combination is what continues to resonate today, because it highlights a fundamental truth about innovation, that it is not just about solving problems, but about seeing connections, about recognizing patterns, and about translating abstract ideas into tangible forms. The Antikythera mechanism also encourages us to think about the limits of our own understanding, because despite all the progress we have made in studying it, there are still aspects of the device that remain uncertain, still gaps in our knowledge that remind us of the complexity of the past and the challenges of reconstructing it. This uncertainty is not a weakness, but a strength, because it drives further inquiry, encourages new approaches, and keeps the process of discovery alive. It reminds us that knowledge is not a finished product, but an ongoing journey, one that requires curiosity, persistence, and an openness to new perspectives. The continued exploration of the Antikythera wreck exemplifies this journey, as researchers return again and again, using increasingly advanced tools to search for new fragments and new insights, each expedition building on the last, each discovery adding another piece to the puzzle. And even when no new artifacts are found, the process itself contributes to our understanding, refining techniques, generating data, and inspiring new questions. Beyond its scientific and historical importance, the mechanism also serves as a powerful metaphor for the nature of human progress, illustrating that advancement is rarely straightforward, that it involves periods of rapid innovation as well as moments of stagnation or loss, and that the knowledge we take for granted today may have roots that extend far deeper into the past than we realize. This perspective challenges us to think more critically about our own assumptions, to recognize that the boundaries between ancient and modern are often more fluid than they appear, and to appreciate the contributions of those who came before us, whose ideas and innovations continue to shape our world in ways we are still discovering. As we continue this series, the Antikythera mechanism remains a source of inspiration and reflection, a reminder that the pursuit of understanding is both a personal and collective endeavor, that it requires not only individual curiosity but also collaboration, communication, and a shared commitment to exploring the unknown. It encourages us to look beyond the surface, to question what we think we know, and to embrace the complexity of both the past and the present, because in the end, the story of the Antikythera mechanism is not just about an ancient device, but about the enduring human drive to explore, to understand, and to create, a drive that continues to push us forward, guiding us through the mysteries of the universe and the depths of our own curiosity, ensuring that the journey of discovery never truly ends, but continues to evolve with each new generation, just as the turning gears of the mechanism once mapped the endless cycles of the cosmos. Deepens the exploration of the Antikythera mechanism by shifting focus from its technical brilliance to its broader significance as a symbol of human ingenuity, continuity, and the enduring quest to understand the universe. Discovered centuries ago near Antikythera, this extraordinary device represents a convergence of observation, mathematics, and mechanical skill, demonstrating that the pursuit of knowledge is not confined to any one era or culture. As we reflect on its intricate gears and complex inscriptions, it becomes clear that the mechanism was not merely a tool for calculation, but a manifestation of a worldview, one in which the cosmos was seen as orderly, predictable, and capable of being represented through human craftsmanship, influenced by the intellectual legacy of thinkers such as Hipparchus and Archimedes. Its creators translated abstract astronomical knowledge into a tangible, functional system, a feat that continues to astonish scholars and enthusiasts alike. Yet, what makes the Antikythera mechanism truly compelling is not only its sophistication, but the story of its survival and rediscovery, a narrative that highlights the fragility of human knowledge and the unpredictable nature of history. For centuries, it lay hidden beneath the sea, its existence unknown, until modern technology and dedicated inquiry brought it to light, reminding us that discovery is often as much about timing and circumstance as it is about ingenuity, the process of uncovering its secrets has itself become a testament to human curiosity, employing advanced imaging techniques, 3D reconstruction, and interdisciplinary collaboration to decode inscriptions, understand gear ratios, and simulate the device's functions. Each step in this process reveals new insights while simultaneously deepening the mystery, emphasizing that knowledge is rarely complete and that the act of questioning is as important as the answers we uncover. The mechanism also illustrates the ways in which knowledge can be both cumulative and fragile. Its design shows an understanding of cycles and mathematics that would not be seen again for centuries, a reminder that even the most advanced ideas can be lost if not preserved, transmitted, and valued. And this has profound implications for how we think about innovation today, as modern societies generate information at unprecedented rates. The Antikythera mechanism challenges us to consider how we safeguard, share, and contextualize knowledge, ensuring that what we discover now remains accessible and meaningful for future generations. The ongoing exploration of the Antikythera wreck reinforces these lessons, as researchers continue to probe the site with increasingly sophisticated tools. Each new expedition not only seeks physical fragments, but also contributes to a deeper understanding of the cultural, scientific, and philosophical context in which the mechanism was created. This approach demonstrates that understanding an artifact is inseparable from understanding the world that produced it, and that human achievement is always embedded within a broader social and intellectual framework. Beyond its scientific and historical relevance, the Antikythera mechanism has also become a source of inspiration, illustrating the timeless nature of curiosity and the creative potential inherent in the human mind. It encourages contemporary innovators, educators, and thinkers to approach complex problems with the same blend of observation, imagination, and meticulous craftsmanship that its creators employed. It reminds us that innovation often arises from the intersection of disciplines, and that solutions to difficult questions require both rigor and creativity. As we consider the mechanism's legacy, we are compelled to reflect not only on what it tells us about the past, but also on what it suggests about our own place in the continuum of discovery. The gears, dials, and inscriptions serve as metaphors for the interconnectedness of knowledge across time, connecting ancient practitioners to modern scientists, engineers, and historians, and reminding us that the pursuit of understanding is a collective endeavor that transcends generations. The story of the Antikythera mechanism, from its creation to its rediscovery, from its study to its enduring influence, embodies the ongoing human fascination with the cosmos and our relentless drive to make sense of it. It demonstrates that curiosity is a thread that weaves together disparate eras, cultures, and disciplines, ensuring that each new insight builds upon the discoveries of the past. As this series continues, the mechanism remains a guiding symbol, emphasizing that the quest for knowledge is endless, that understanding is a journey rather than a destination, and that the lessons of history, innovation, and human creativity are preserved not only in what we build, but in how we continue to seek, question, and explore, echoing the endlessly turning gears of the mechanism itself, moving forward with a rhythm that transcends time, bridging the ancient and modern, the known and the unknown, and inspiring generations yet to come. Of the series delves even further into the enduring significance of the Antikythera mechanism, portraying it not only as an extraordinary ancient artifact but as a symbol of the timeless human quest to understand the universe. Discovered centuries ago in the waters near Antikythera, this remarkable device embodies a convergence of intellectual curiosity, mechanical skill, and astronomical knowledge, reflecting a world in which observation, mathematics, and philosophy were inseparably intertwined. As we study its complex network of interlocking gears and finely calibrated dials, it becomes evident that the mechanism was designed not merely for calculation but as a functional representation of the cosmos, translating abstract celestial cycles into tangible, observable motion, influenced by thinkers such as Hipparchus and Archimedes. The creators demonstrated extraordinary sophistication in modeling the positions of the sun, moon, and possibly even planets, creating a device that is at once scientific, educational, and philosophical, yet the story of the mechanism extends beyond its technical achievement, because its survival, loss, and eventual rediscovery illustrate the fragile nature of knowledge. For centuries it lay hidden beneath the sea, a silent testament to the ingenuity of its makers, until modern research, fueled by advanced imaging techniques, mechanical reconstruction, and interdisciplinary collaboration, brought its mysteries to light. This process of rediscovery exemplifies the dynamic nature of human understanding, showing that knowledge is never truly static, but evolves as new tools, ideas, and perspectives emerge. Every revelation about the mechanism, from the precision of its gears to the inscriptions that annotate its functions, has prompted not only answers but also new questions, highlighting that discovery is an iterative process, one that requires patience, imagination, and a willingness to confront uncertainty. The Antikythera mechanism also serves as a profound lesson in the preservation and transmission of knowledge. Its complexity was unmatched in the ancient world, yet for over 1,000 years, such technology was effectively lost, underscoring that innovation alone is insufficient without systems to maintain and disseminate it. This has significant resonance in the modern era, reminding us that the rapid production of information must be accompanied by careful stewardship to ensure that knowledge remains accessible and meaningful for future generations. The ongoing study of the Antikythera wreck illustrates the collaborative and cumulative nature of human inquiry, as archaeologists, historians, engineers, and astronomers work together, combining expertise to reconstruct both the device and the intellectual world that produced it. Each expedition, each analysis, and each simulation contributes to a deeper understanding not only of the mechanism itself but of the culture, trade networks, and scientific traditions of the Hellenistic world. Beyond its historical and technological significance, the mechanism embodies a larger narrative about human creativity and the pursuit of understanding. It demonstrates how curiosity drives innovation, how observation can lead to abstraction, and how abstraction can be transformed into tangible, functional creations. This process, while ancient in origin, mirrors the methods of contemporary science and engineering, showing that the underlying principles of discovery, observation, modeling, experimentation, and refinement are consistent across time. In addition, the Antikythera mechanism inspires philosophical reflection, suggesting that the desire to understand the cosmos is a universal human impulse, one that transcends culture, geography, and epoch. The same questions that motivated its creators continue to inspire scientists, educators, and students today, fostering a continuity of inquiry that links the past with the present and the future. As we consider its legacy, it is apparent that the mechanism represents more than a mechanical marvel. It is a bridge between eras, a reminder that innovation is cumulative and collaborative, that knowledge is fragile yet resilient, and that curiosity is a force that propels humanity forward. Its gears, dials, and inscriptions function metaphorically as a testament to the interconnectedness of understanding, connecting ancient practitioners to modern researchers, and reflecting the unending cycles of exploration and discovery that define human history. Ultimately, the Antikythera mechanism is both an artifact and an idea, a material representation of intellect and imagination, whose influence continues to expand as we decode its secrets, explore its implications, and draw inspiration from its creators, ensuring that the story of this extraordinary device is never truly complete, but continues to evolve, just as the gears once turned, mapping the heavens, guiding minds, and inspiring generations. A timeless emblem of our desire to know, to understand, and to reach beyond the boundaries of our own time, reminding us that the journey of discovery, like the cosmos it seeks to represent, is infinite, interconnected, and endlessly compelling. The series continues to unfold the remarkable story of the Antikythera mechanism, emphasizing its enduring role as a bridge between the ancient and modern worlds, for while it was discovered centuries ago in the waters near Antikythera, its influence continues to resonate today, serving as both a testament to human ingenuity and a source of inspiration for contemporary science, engineering, and philosophy. The device's intricate system of interlocking gears, carefully calibrated to model the cycles of the sun, moon, and perhaps even the planets, reveals an understanding of celestial mechanics that was astonishing for its time, demonstrating that the intellectual traditions of the Hellenistic world, influenced by figures such as Hipparchus and Archimedes, were capable of translating abstract astronomical knowledge into precise mechanical form. This ability to convert observation and theory into tangible representation speaks to the sophistication and creativity of its creators, and yet the mechanism story is not only one of technological brilliance but also of loss, rediscovery, and reinterpretation. For centuries it lay hidden beneath the sea, unknown to scholars and lost to history, until modern research, employing advanced imaging, 3D reconstruction, and careful archaeological methods, brought it to light. Each new insight uncovered by scientists has deepened our understanding while simultaneously revealing the limits of what we know, highlighting that the pursuit of knowledge is iterative and never fully complete. The Antikythera mechanism exemplifies this dynamic process, its rediscovery demonstrating that understanding is not fixed, that history contains hidden layers waiting to be revealed, and that every artifact holds within it not just data but the potential to reshape how we view the past. The ongoing study of the Antikythera wreck illustrates the collaborative nature of inquiry, as archaeologists, historians, engineers, and astronomers work together to reconstruct the device and its context. This interdisciplinary approach mirrors the way knowledge itself develops, through the combination of diverse skills, perspectives, and methods. Each discovery, whether it be a fragment of bronze or a subtle inscription, adds to the narrative, expanding our understanding of ancient science, trade, culture, and intellectual life. Yet beyond its technical and historical significance, the Antikythera mechanism resonates as a metaphor for the human drive to explore and comprehend the universe. It represents our desire to find order in complexity, to model the cosmos, and to bridge the gap between observation and understanding. The device's precision and elegance remind us that innovation often arises from curiosity, careful study, and the integration of multiple disciplines, qualities that remain central to human achievement today. Reflecting on its legacy also brings into focus the fragility and resilience of knowledge. The mechanism was once lost to time, yet rediscovery, coupled with modern technology and scholarly dedication, has allowed it to inspire a new era of understanding, a reminder that the preservation and transmission of knowledge require intention, care, and collaboration. The lessons of the mechanism extend beyond science, offering philosophical and cultural insights, showing that human curiosity is timeless, and that each generation contributes to an ongoing dialogue with the past, connecting our efforts with those who came before us. As modern researchers continue to investigate, simulate, and interpret the device, the Antikythera mechanism remains a source of wonder, encouraging new approaches to education, innovation, and exploration. Its story exemplifies how curiosity drives progress, how discovery is never linear, and how even a fragment of history can inspire centuries of inquiry. Ultimately, the mechanism is both artifact and idea, a tangible expression of human intellect and imagination, whose influence spans millennia, its intricate gears and precise engineering echoing the endless cycles of observation, calculation, and understanding. It challenges us to think critically, to preserve knowledge, and to approach the unknown with both rigor and imagination. As we reach this penultimate stage in our series, the Antikythera mechanism stands as a symbol of the continuity of human curiosity, bridging past and present, reminding us that every question we ask builds upon those of the past, and that the pursuit of knowledge is an endless journey, much like the turning gears within the mechanism itself, which, though silent for centuries, continues to speak across time, inspiring generations to explore, to understand, and to reach ever further into the mysteries of the universe, ensuring that its story, like the cycles it represents, will never truly end but continue to evolve, expand, and captivate all who engage with it. Brings the story of the Antikythera mechanism full circle, reflecting on its enduring legacy, the lessons it imparts, and the inspiration it continues to offer. Discovered centuries ago in the waters near Antikythera, this extraordinary device represents one of humanity's earliest and most sophisticated attempts to model the cosmos mechanically, a feat that combines observation, mathematics, and craftsmanship in a way that continues to astonish modern scholars, engineers, and historians. Its intricate network of gears, calibrated with precision to track the movements of the sun, moon, and possibly planets, reveals an understanding of celestial cycles that was unparalleled in the ancient world, influenced by intellectual traditions associated with figures such as Hipparchus and Archimedes. The mechanism translates abstract astronomical knowledge into a tangible, operational model, demonstrating that science and art were inseparably intertwined in Hellenistic culture. Yet the story of the mechanism is as much about its disappearance and rediscovery as it is about its technical brilliance. For centuries it remained hidden beneath the sea, unknown and lost to history, only to be recovered and painstakingly studied with modern technology, including X-ray imaging, 3D reconstruction, and mechanical simulation. Each new revelation about its design, inscriptions, and function not only deepens our understanding but also raises new questions, emphasizing that discovery is a continuous, iterative process, and that knowledge is never static. The Antikythera mechanism exemplifies the delicate balance between fragility and resilience in the transmission of knowledge, as its sophistication was unmatched in its time. Yet for more than a millennium, no comparable device was seen, highlighting that even the most remarkable innovations can be lost if not preserved and shared. This lesson resonates in our era of rapid technological advancement, reminding us that creation alone is not sufficient. Careful documentation, preservation, and dissemination are equally essential. The ongoing study of the Antikythera wreck reflects this ethos, as teams of interdisciplinary researchers combine archaeology, engineering, astronomy, and history to reconstruct both the mechanism and the cultural context in which it was conceived. Each expedition, analysis, and simulation contributes to a deeper understanding of ancient science, trade, education, and philosophy, and underscores the collaborative nature of human knowledge. Beyond its historical and technical significance, the mechanism serves as a powerful metaphor for human curiosity and ingenuity, illustrating how observation, creativity, and the integration of ideas across disciplines can produce extraordinary outcomes. It inspires contemporary scientists, educators, and innovators to approach problems with the same combination of imagination, rigor, and meticulous attention to detail. The legacy of the Antikythera mechanism also emphasizes the cyclical nature of discovery, showing that ideas can be created, lost, and rediscovered, and that the pursuit of knowledge is not linear but evolving, each generation building upon the achievements of the previous ones. The device encourages reflection on our role in this continuum, challenging us to think about how the innovations and knowledge we produce today will be preserved, interpreted, and valued by future generations. As the story of the mechanism has demonstrated, the impact of an idea often extends far beyond its original context, influencing fields and inspiring minds centuries later. Its gears and inscriptions stand as symbols of continuity, linking ancient scholars to modern researchers, and reminding us that intellectual curiosity transcends time. Ultimately, the Antikythera mechanism is both artifact and idea, a material embodiment of human intellect and imagination, whose story spans millennia and continues to unfold. With each new investigation, each new insight, and each new generation that encounters it, it is a testament to the enduring power of curiosity, the importance of collaboration, and the infinite potential of human ingenuity. And as we conclude this series, it leaves us with the profound understanding that discovery is not confined to a single moment, a single person, or a single era, but is part of a vast Ongoing dialogue across time, much like the endlessly turning gears of the mechanism itself, moving forward with precision and purpose, revealing patterns, inspiring thought, and connecting us to both the past and the future, ensuring that the story of the Antikythera mechanism, like the cosmos it was designed to map, continues in perpetuity, an eternal emblem of humanity's quest to understand, to create, and to explore.